I don't know, but just stop picking your nose now, Jang. It's okay.
Oh
Hi, we're
God.
live. How's it going, everybody? Good to see you. It is Thursday, and we are here with some awesome guests on the panel, and we have got some awesome people in the chat. So what we'll do first, we'll say hello to our surprise person who dropped in, Emily from Emmasaurus. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. Happy Thursday.
Happy
Nothing
Thursday.
crazy going on, but I'm happy to be here.
It's Friday
That's good.
Eve.
Yep, happy to have you. Friday Eve, exactly. We've got Craig, sir, Brickstage Pass. How are you,
Hello,
dude?
hello. I'm good, thank you. How are you, Simon?
I'm good. I'm good. I managed to get some extra sleep during the week, and then I wrecked it last night by staying up late. So the usual. We have Jang underneath. Craig, how's it going,
Howdy.
Jang? You well?
Doing well, yes. Thank you.
I know
Glad
you're
to be here.
Busy.
Yeah.
And we have somebody who is a person who I have kind of been looking for. Basically, we get Forrest is Forrest 101. Forrest is a person who I've been looking for a while to come on as a guest. Not specifically Forrest, but I put a call out a few weeks ago to the chat, and I asked, do you know anybody who does good quality Lego stop motions? And your name was given, and I went to check Forest out, and my God, my mind was blown. It's another level. It's like another level. Now, I know Emily has her husband Ross kind of knows you in a little bit of a way, but I found some cool stop motions that I love, and I know Emily would love them as well. And it's Scooby Doo. But first of all, Forrest, welcome, and tell us a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
Yeah, thanks for that. I'm just been making these brick films, I think, for like 14 years now. So when I first started, they were nowhere near the level they're at now. It just kind of slowly progressed, trial and error over time, getting better with each project. And I think that's the thing I stress the most when people ask me for advice or like, what to do, how to make the brick films good. It's like, it's not going to happen overnight. You have to just kind of stick with it and not give up. And eventually you'll make progress. So at this point, I'm very happy with like where they're at now, but there's still ways I feel like they can improve. So I try to find those ways. I try to be hypercritical of my own work and see where, the videos can be better.
And what got you into stop motion? Was it just like something you saw somewhere and decided that's for me, or how did you get into it?
Yeah, well, really, I was super into like adult kind of animation and cartoons growing up when I was like a young teen, like 13, 14, and like Family Guy, South Park, Robot Chicken. And I kind of wanted to do my own version of that. So I've always had that kind of like mean streak, that like crude adult humor kind of stuff. So I want to give that warning right off the bat. Like a lot of my videos are not for kids, even though I was a kid when I started making them. 27 now. But yeah, I started kind of making like skits with action figures and using stop motion, like really rudimentary stop motion. And eventually I kind of settled on Legos because with Legos, they're so tiny, you can kind of build these enormous sets without having to sacrifice too much actual space in your small studio apartment or wherever you happen to be. Thankfully now I just moved back to St. Louis, Missouri, and I've got this whole huge basement, and I'm actually working on expanding my Lego Gotham City right now. I'm trying to commit a really grand scale to my next brick film because in the past I've had to rely on a lot of like CGI and visual effects, and I'm trying to get away from that. I'm trying to make it a lot practical, like a lot shot in camera. So that's just one of those things, like always trying to improve, always trying to get better.
Sounds awesome.
It does. It's really cool. Do you have a specific favorite theme you like to make movies from?
Yeah, I've always had a real affinity for Batman and the DC comics, so that's kind of my bread and butter. I do other things too. I like Marvel. I like I would love to do like a Scooby Doo episode at some point. I did one Scooby Doo video, but it was just a short one. But I'd love to do more of that. Maybe do like a Batman Scooby Doo crossover video. But yeah, my Lego Batman's like the longest running Lego series. And then yeah, I love just bringing in all the other DC characters and making a mockery of them, kind of like, because the DC characters are so serious and so self-important, and I love that when it's conveyed in a dramatic way, like the Chris Nolan movies or the Batman the Animated Series. It's exceptional. I get a lot of the joy from that, but it's also fun to take those characters and completely turn them on their heads and poke fun at them.
I know everybody would be asking this, like, how long does it take you to make, let's say, one specific part of a movie or a movie? I know you're working on one at the moment. How long does it take? Like a long time, or does it depend on, your mood or whatever?
Right. Yeah. Well, there's a variety of factors to consider. I mean, if it's a very heavy VFX project, visual effects, that's obviously going to take more time and more planning. And it also depends if I have a crew, if I have a budget. If I'm just doing something on my own, it always takes a lot longer. But I find that the gigs I get from outside companies, like I've worked for Marvel and I've worked for Warner Brothers and Disney and stuff. And when I'm paid, a lot of times those gigs go by a lot faster because you're on a deadline, and you don't want to disappoint, the powers that be. So you also have a team generally. So, for example, my last video was the Lego Star Wars race video. It's on my channel. It's my most recent upload. And I worked on that with just one other person, worked on that with my buddy Gus. And he did a lot of the CGI work on that, and I did all the stop motion. So it was a nice kind of like computer and practical blend of the two elements. And we shot that and did everything for that. And I think inside like 4 weeks. And that's like a minute long video, like a minute and a half. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, when you're grinding really hard, you can make some really great progress. But there's other videos, like I've been working on this like Kylo and Rey fight scene since before Rise of Skywalker even came out. So it's been like on and off in production for like 3 years now. Wow. And I've only got like 2.5 minutes on it because it's really epic. And I want it to be like 7 minutes. And it's just all me. Like I haven't really paid anyone else to work on it. So it's like I'm doing everything, like lighting, animation, planning. So yeah, it's kind of just slugging by, like, but I'm starting up production again on it now, and hopefully I can keep a good momentum going on that, because I'm also at the same time shooting a new Lego Batman video. So I'm gonna try to like bounce between the two.
Now, there's a guaranteed fact that nobody out there, nobody watching right now, none of us can truly appreciate how much work you put into every second of entertainment that you give to us. How does that feel? Do you ever feel like, man, if only they knew, like what is the emotional response to that completely different universe that we live in versus yours?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely sucks because I know I don't get that many videos out of my channel. Typically like I'll upload like 2 or 3 videos a year, and they're not even like that long. So some people might think I'm dead for a while, or some people might just think I'm really lazy. But it's like, no, yeah, it takes a lot of time, and I think more people realize that. I've been doing a lot of like live streams recently, and I film myself, painstakingly animating every scene, and then people kind of tune in, and I'm like at the animation table, at the stage for like 12 hours at a time, and they'll come back and they're like, this is how much you've got. You've only got 3 seconds or something. So then they start to kind of gain an appreciation for it. Cause yeah, you can blast through an animation if it's just a couple of characters talking in a room. Like that's no big deal whatsoever. But if you're involving like a big lightsaber duel with like the set, like the Kylo and Rey video I'm doing, like the set is a big part of it. And there's like these massive Lego trees. I've got them over here, but I'm animating like the wind blowing through the leaves and stuff. And yeah, there's like so many different elements. There's like big camera moves, and a lot of times the visual effects are very complicated. So you'll have to do a lot of work in post too. So like if a character is jumping around a lot, you have to rig them up with like one of these pieces, one of the clear pieces, and hover them. But then in post, you have to take a second exposure, and then in post you have to go and edit that rig out, and then add the lightsabers, add the dust, add all the particulars, and yeah, it's a long, complicated process. But I mean, none of it's particularly challenging for me at this point. Like I've kind of figured everything out and how to do things. It's just the time, and yeah, that's only really ever sped up if I have like money behind a project.
That's awesome. I'm just going to let everybody know there's a poll at the moment. I couldn't think of a proper question, so just fill in the poll, and that's good. So anyone joining as well, you'll find all of the details for everybody on the panel in the description below. So go and check them out. There's Instagram, there's Twitch, there's everything you want there. All Forest details are there as well. And I'm just going to say hello quickly to a few people because I didn't when we started because I was excited. I want to say hi to Lorraine. She's here for Lego with Fonzie. Emmasaurus, hey. We've got Mayo is here, Sam Perry, and we also have Trevor Baker. We've got tons of people in. We've got the minifig who Bricks with Justin, Mitty Bricks. We also have Stud Sidious. We also have, I saw Holly there a second ago as well. Hey Holly, how are you? And we have Axel Plate. This is also an excuse for anyone who wants to have a little drink, wet your mouth while I'm talking about. Ninja with the Brick. Aaron is here. Republic Studs. Good to see you, dude. Skellig is here as well, if I get to pop on that. And who else did I see? Oh yeah, I saw the Brick Chap, Doc Sampson. So welcome everybody who has dropped in to say hello to all of us. The other thing is pretty obvious. Well, one half of it is obvious. Forest and 101. Where'd you get the name from?
That's a good question. I didn't really anticipate it being like a popular channel or anything. I was just trying to come up with a quick username to create a YouTube account. And I think FORRESTFIRE was taken. So I just went FORRESTFIRE 101 because I was thinking like of like a classroom or like a school setting. But yeah, it was just kind of like a number I needed, and I just liked that number.
And I mean, Forrest obviously is your first name, and when you got into the stop motion, obviously you didn't have the kind of setup you have now. Was there any? Would you ever have a time where you thought to yourself, "This is taking too much trouble. I'm going to ditch this and forget about it"?
You know, I've never really had that thought. You know, I feel like I've seen a lot of brick filmers come and go. I've seen a lot of really great brick filmers with a lot of potential show up on the platform, and then they kind of like go off to college or they go work in something else. And I think I've been fortunate in that I've been financially supported through the Duck Song, which is like a super mega hit for me. And I can kind of like coast on that in between more proper gigs. So it's allowed me a lot of creative freedom. And I feel like if more people had that opportunity, maybe there'd be more brick filmers at my level, because it's a really fun passion and hobby for me. And it just so happens that it actually earns me money on the side now too. So that's great.
Yes, I was going to ask you, like, do you have a regular kind of job as well?
No, this is it. This is full time. I kind of like I said, I bounce between doing paid work for studios and then doing my own projects. And my own projects, they used to bring in more money, like the Lego Batman parodies and stuff. But with the changes to YouTube and stuff, there's not much money made off those. Some, but most of my money still comes from the Duck Song, and then now I'm making extra cash on Patreon and on the live streams. So people have been really generous, and the fans have been supporting me a lot recently. So that's been awesome too.
Good.
So tell us a little bit more about the Duck Song. Is that something you kind of stumbled onto, or was it a planned thing you were going to try to get, I suppose, viral or whatever?
No, that was a total fluke. It was like, that was still early on in my YouTube career, and I've always liked kind of embracing different animation mediums and formats on the channel. I've never wanted to stick with just one thing, and that's kind of been like upsetting to some people, because some people see me as just like the Lego guy, and then I'll upload like something random like the Duck Song, or something random like I did a zombie, like live action zombie series, and I also did a cartoon for Disney, like it's a pilot called Eames and Barry. And yeah, it's kind of just like I like every once in a while, you know, taking a break from Lego and trying something new. And that was just one of those things. Like my cousin, she came to me with this, and it was a lyric video on YouTube back in 2009. And I think it had like a few thousand views, like 5,000 views or something. And she was like, you should make this into one of your paint animations. Because at the time I was experimenting with the program Pivot and like stick figures and like kind of like just like graphic art, kind of like paint animations. So I think I made it in like a day and a half. And I contacted the songwriter Brian Oden, and I said, hey, can I post this? And he's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And, you know, none of us expected it to be like by far the most popular video on my channel, and like one of the most popular like original like creator uploads on the entire platform. So yeah, it's been incredible. Like yeah, the rise of the duck. It's been real. And yeah, and I want to say, come March 2022, we're gonna release the duck song in real life. So it's a shot-for-shot recreation of the original video in live action. It's gonna be kind of like, I got the idea from like the Disney remakes they've been doing recently. So it'll be very similar to that, but just fully realized.
So cool.
It's brilliant.
I'm looking forward to that.
Emily, were you given any little questions to ask from Ross, or do you have anything to chat about with the?
I guess there was one. So I saw Ross in chat. He was Mr. Saurus. So he was asking, like, is that FORRESTFIRE from Nickelodeon? And I know. So my husband used to do a lot of like stop motion, and then he went to college. He's like one of those people,
Right.
And he did a lot of like Lego Star Wars stuff. But he remembers like seeing your work from 10 years ago or so, and then seeing you on Nickelodeon. So like, what was that process like? Like, did they reach out to you? How was that, especially being like 10 years ago or whatever that was? Like, how was that?
I think I was like 15 or 16, and that was like right around the same time the duck song came out. And yeah, they reached out to me because of the success of the Lego videos. I had found some, back then, like 100,000 views or 1 million views was like considered like a lot. And it was cool. Like they came to my house and they interviewed me, and it was like my first like real kind of like gig I did with people in like the industry, and it kind of gave me like inspiration. It gave me like kind of hope that I was on the right track, and emboldened me and made me even more sure that this is what I wanted to do.
Nice. I guess, like, so how did you start with this? Like, how did you learn this? Were there videos out at the time, or were you just experimenting with it, seeing what worked and what didn't? Like, how did you go from never doing it? Like, how did you take your first steps into stop motion?
Yeah, I guess my first introduction to stop motion in a real way was Robot Chicken. And that's a show on Adult Swim. It's still airing. Yeah, it's still around. It's a like super long running show. And it's pretty cool because it's kind of come full circle at this point, because I actually worked on season 11 of Robot Chicken earlier this year. So it's been like a really cool like journey I've been on. But that's the show that inspired me to start stop motion, because it was so like homemade, and it felt like approachable. Like I was like, oh, like, and I saw there was a lot of behind the scenes, and I was like, oh, like this is actually possible for an amateur to attempt. If you look at something like The Nightmare Before Christmas, it's so well done that you hardly even can tell it's stop motion. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't seem as achievable. But something about Robot Chicken kind of spoke to me, and South Park too, because even though South Park, I'm pretty sure only the first few episodes were done in actual stop motion, but the rest were done on a computer. It still emulated that simple, basic cardboard cutout look. So it seemed like something I could pull off. And just a lot of trial and error, a lot of like frustration early on of like, I remember like I took a photo of a Lego. The first time I took a photo of a Lego, it was blurry. And I was like, why is it blurry? Why isn't it? I didn't even know the term like in focus, So I had to like look all these things up and like figure out how to get it in focus, and just kind of like troubleshooting from there on out. And there's been videos and stuff that's been helpful, in books and things. Like you can go to your local library and rent books about animation. There's a really good one put out by Disney called The Illusion of Life. That's a really good place to start. But now there's a ton more materials, and it's way more accessible now. There's webcams, there's Dragon Frame, there's a lot of really easy and cheap ways to get introduced into stop mo. So there's never been a better time to start.
Amazing.
It is pretty cool. I mean, like, I've been asked loads of times, would I do stop motion? And I know I worked in TV, and I've been in ads, and an ad is like a very short thing on TV, but it could take like days to make. So I always said no, I'd never make like stop motion because I don't have the patience. But I mean, as you said, like 5 minutes in a movie or a 3-minute advert it takes ages and ages and ages. But I would love to have the patience, especially like seeing. I love Lego coming to life. I loved Lego Dimensions. I thought that was amazing. And then when I saw the Lego movie, I was like, my head blew off. Like, and then, what did you think of the Lego movie?
Oh, I loved it. Yeah. I mean, that's something that they could have easily messed up, but it was handled, Phil Lord and Chris Miller. They really, took care with the material and took care with the visuals, and like the team who did it. I forgot what they were called. some I forgot their name, but yeah, they really studied a lot of real brick films and how Legos are actually photographed, and they emulated and simulated a lot of those techniques in the computer. So it kind of has this like workman like quality to it. And
Well, it wasn't Animal Logic. It sure wasn't.
no, Animal Logic, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Animal Logic. Yeah, they
I didn't
really
Google it.
killed
I
it
did,
with
I
all the
swear.
dust particles and
No
the
Googling.
scratches and the imperfectness of it. Because I think that's something, you know, that
That's a
suffered a
good
lot.
point. Like,
And
you
other
do
things
see
is
all
like
this.
the bendy arms and stuff. You know,
Yeah.
you want to keep it rigid. You want to keep it like
Yeah.
an actual photograph.
It's true. Like when you look at it, like there are scratches on the Lego, and like in your usual production, that would be polished. They wouldn't have any imperfections, and
Right.
they let it look like a something that had been played with by the main character.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
and it would have been so much easier to just do something where it was perfect, but they had to actually go in and add all that rough detail and all those reflections and make it look like something that someone shot practically,
Yeah.
which was it was a really nice achievement. I really like that look, and the Lego Batman movie was really good too. The Lego Batman movie, I think, and the future movies, they're getting a little too far into like the CG territory again. I think there's that natural pull to like let's do water, like simulation water again, or like let's do smoke and other things. But like if you're doing a real stop motion, you can't really do a whole lot of that. So yeah, and I think some of the more bombastic lighting of the Lego Batman movie was just oversaturated overkill. I think the cinematography of the first Lego movie is like the gold standard, and like that's kind of what they should shoot for moving forward.
Absolutely. I mean, I did notice the difference between the Lego movie, the first one, and the Lego Batman. But do you know the other kind of direct to DVD program shows that they do, like the Superman was? Are they stop motion as well, or are they? I know some of them are definitely CGI, but were any of those stop motion? Like Justice League
I don't think
Beleaguered
so. They should be though. I mean, I think Lego should embrace stop motion creators more. I mean, they have been, I think, recently. Like for the first time, I worked for the Lego group directly, and yeah, that was on the Lego race video to advertise their new Star Wars fall line. And hopefully I get more gigs with them. Hopefully people I know get more gigs with them, because I think it's just such a better look than anything that's done in the computer, unless you're at the level of the Lego movie. And then at that case, you know, they're doing stuff that's really impressive, but that's also really expensive. I think stop motion is like a good, like cheaper alternative to CGI in a lot of ways.
Like the original adverts were all like stop motion with it coming together, weren't they? When they were building the setup.
Yeah, like kind of had like it was kind of a blend of live action and stop mo. Yeah, definitely. Those adverts are cool.
So tell me about your sets, okay? Because obviously, with a set in a movie, you get people who do the drywall, as you say in America. Someone do the plastering, someone does the carpentry, someone does all that. But you have to build the sets. And I was interested that you get a team as well. Now I know you were saying in one of your live streams, I think is your brother helps sometimes as well.
Yeah, I mean, anyone I can grab really who will help me, and I usually either people want to help out for free or I pay them some money and they help me build. But really, like, yeah, a lot of it is just like, kind of, I have such a vision in my head that I just have to like do it myself. And I like having that control. So it's actually kind of difficult for me to like give up that control to other people. I have to really be able to trust someone. Yeah, there's a few people that I've worked with who I feel really strongly, like a strong, creative connection with, like Gus, who helped me out with the CGI and the race video, and my longtime collaborator Sean Willits. He's a fellow animator. He's insanely good stop mo animator artist, and I've worked with him for I don't know, like 10 years now or something. And yeah, he's awesome, and I'm trying to get him to move out to St. Louis here with me, because I used to live in Los Angeles, so that's where he's from. And I just recently moved back, and he's looking to move. And I'm like, you should come to St. Louis and let's keep doing this thing.
And why not? If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, definitely. And things just go by so much quicker when you have a buddy to help you out with. It's just two people, but it's like you're putting out the output of 3 or 4 people.
Yeah, exactly. Jan, do you have any questions for Forrest?
I got the main one in there because I think I've tried to put myself into the other person's shoes and also kind of relate it to my own journey, but it's different, but there are similarities. you know, to just how different it is from the viewer's side versus the creator side. No, I've seen a bunch of your work. I'm sorry that I have not been able to see more of it, but everything that I have seen has been absolutely exemplary. And I've seen how long you've been doing it, so I just really admire the hustle and the passion that is clearly there. You know, you really love this stuff, and it shows. It shows.
Yeah, that I appreciate that. Yeah, I as I've gone into it too, like I used to be into it more for the filmmaking, and like now I'm like completely converted into like a huge Lego fan, and I'm I'm like it's hard for me like not to like go to the Lego store at least like, you know, every few weeks and see what's new and keep up with the catalog, and you know I have to like stop myself from buying any kind of sets that you know, I feel like I couldn't use in a production in some way. So I have to be able to justify it so I can write it off as a business expense.
That's true.
I'm doing wrong.
I mean, like you're probably like the rest of us. You see Lego, you want it, and I mean, sometimes we say, "Oh, I won't be buying Lego for the month or 2 months," and the next day you're in the shop, and it's like, "Woohoo! I'll get this and this."
Yeah, right.
What do you do with your Lego when you're finished using it for your stop motions? Do you donate? Do you put it into a backlog? Do you just reuse it?
Well, I try to store anything that I could reuse. Like I'm mostly everything that I have that's put together are like buildings that I can repurpose for future videos. And yeah, and like some vehicles and stuff. But yeah, a lot of times if I'm done with a set and I don't think I'll ever use it again, I'll just smash it and sort it into the various colored bins. My sorting system's not really that advanced. It's just like I have a big bucket of blue, a big bucket of, you know, like multiple buckets of light gray, big bucket of red, and I just kind of sort it. And then when I need a brick, I'll just dump the whole thing out on a blanket and find the brick and put everything back. But yeah, I've never gotten rid of any Lego. I've never donated any Lego. It's all just accumulating. And when I die, it'll all go to my kids, and they can figure out what to do with it.
That's cool. You're a good family man. Your Instagram account wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be Lego here, Lego there. It's family orientated, which is cool.
It's like a little bit of both. Yeah, I started my Instagram initially as just like a Facebook page kind of thing, just like as a personal page. And then I started getting a lot of followers. I wasn't even advertising it, but I started getting followers on there asking for Lego content. And I'm like, okay. So I started doing Lego content, but I also still post my family. So it's just kind of whatever I feel like. It's business and family.
That's good. I just want to say hello to more people who have dropped in. So Greg from London Bridge Bricks, who I do a live stream with every Wednesday. It alternates between the two channels. Call the backlog, incidentally. He says, "Good evening, everyone. I'm in one of my favorite restaurants celebrating, but could not pop by to say a warm hello," which is pretty sad because we love him. And when I saw Just Build It is here. Hey, Joel, how are you? Good to see you. And I think somebody had a question, apart from Craig has a question. Oh, Ninja had to go. Ninja is gone. And yeah, so anyone joining, just hit the like button if you don't mind, and check out everyone's links. They're in the descriptions down below. And Greg, what's your question?
Well, I'm well into stop motion, and when I say well into it, I like watching it. I'm really, really old as well, Forrest, just to let you know that back in 1994, when I was a teenager, I tried to do a full Jurassic Park video with Lego stop motion on a Sanyo camcorder, pressing the stop button, pausing it. Right. That's how into it. My question is, what puts me off doing it now is because I don't have the time to set it up and stay with it, is how do you keep the continuity? Because you've got to get the lighting right, haven't you? If you leave it a day and or knock something or move something, how do you keep that consistent?
Right. Well, it's best not to leave the set if you can, but there have been instances where I've been in the middle of a really long shot, say with like several characters, or I've done scenes where there's a big city street and there's tons of cars and tons of pedestrians walking around, and those can get really grueling. You know, you can spend up to like 30 minutes to 45 minutes of frame sometimes. Gosh. If you're really pushing yourself. I've done like zombie videos too with like zombie hordes. And that's a little easier because the zombies are all going towards one thing, like one goal. They don't all have their own individual minds and business. But yeah, when you're animating that many characters, you kind of have to keep you're acting basically. You're thinking about like, where is this character going? Like, what's he up to? What are his thought processes? So you have to keep all that kind of like logged in your mind. And yeah, it can sometimes take days to animate one shot. And in that case, yeah, you do have to sleep. You have to take breaks. So, you know, you set up a situation where the lighting doesn't hopefully change, and hopefully, you know, you don't have a cat or anything disturbing your set. You know, lock your animals out of the room, and I usually just keep all the lights on, because I find if I turn them off and turn them back on, they might be slightly different, or they might get bumped or something. So yeah, I kind of just like leave it, close the door, and then come back to it when I'm ready. And yeah, sometimes there is like a set shift or a set bump. But sometimes you can correct that in post, and people won't notice it. But it does happen, because, you know, stop motion is kind of a dirty thing. It's not clean like a CGI movie.
Have you ever made something, right, and published it, and then gone, oh my god, and saw a huge mistake you made that maybe no one else saw?
Yeah, it's usually with like really stupid things, like the spelling of a word or something. I've made several mistakes in the past where I thought I spell checked it, and I thought it was okay, but then I posted it and it's like, oh, I spelled barely barley, and things like that. And yeah, that really irks me, because it's like I spend so much time in the actual stop motion, and I forget about like the titles and and the words in the video. So yeah, you got to make sure your focus is on like every single thing, and you know, make sure before you post it you're really happy with it. But some things do slip through the cracks every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's great. You have to have a good eye for it. Emily, are you and Ross gonna go back to doing any stop motions?
I mean, we've thought about it. So that was part of the goal. Like, we bought a camera for stop motion, and I've never really done anything with it. My husband, he was the one who was into it about 10 years ago, and then went to college and didn't have the money or space, really. I know we do want to, but it's just hard kind of figuring out a setup, because again, like, the lighting will change, even like the above lights. If you're doing stop motion, like frame to frame, the lights can shift slightly to where it looks almost flickering when you speed it up for like a film. So we might at some point, but right now it's just like, where would we do this? So I guess I'm kind of curious, like, what does your studio look like? Like, do you use LED lights, like ring lights, or like what kind of lighting is it? Because I know, like, we've had issues with just normal like ceiling lights.
Right, that's a good question. Yeah, I think it's important to turn off any lights that aren't for the set. That way you're not bouncing light around the room. If you have a TV on, that can even affect it. It's good to wear black clothing when you animate. That's like an extra pro tip. I don't even always do that, but if you're having problems with flicker, that might be an issue, because lights, you know, crazy. It'll bounce off all the walls, and then you're moving around the room, so everything is affecting it. So even when I'm taking the frame, I'll try to be in the same position I was in last time, because a lot of times I'm working with like buildings that have like glass, like reflective surfaces, but there's still mistakes that are made. Sometimes that can be smoothed out in editing if need be. But yeah, I mostly use, I pretty much use all LED lights at this point. I've got I've got this mostly like a lot of pro lighting now. Like, I've upgraded and stuff. Like, I've spent a lot of time in Los Angeles and learning from people. Like, I worked in Robot Chicken, like I said, and I learned a lot there at that company, Stupid Buddy. But this is like, I'll show you like one of my stages. If it doesn't disconnect, hopefully. Let's see. Yeah, I can take you around here. This is one stage that I'm setting up for production again. And this light, I think this is it's just like a LED light that I bought at a camera store. And that's really nice, because you can change the hue of it. And then I've got kind of like a more standard ring light I got off of Amazon. And then this is just my box of lights. But yeah, I've pretty much got like everything I need in here. Like, just things that I've come across over time. Recently, I've actually found these shop lights that I got at Costco. They're for like working on cars and stuff. They're actually they pump out a ton of light, which is great, because then you can get a lot of detail. You can bring your exposure down on your camera and get a lot more depth, because like the less light you have, the less light that you have to feed the camera, the kind of blurrier the background's going to be. So if you really blast your set, you can actually get a nice depth of field, which makes it feel more like a real movie and less like a miniature stop motion film.
That's incredible.
The other stage I'm working on, putting together a city, basically.
Oh, look, it's London Bridge.
It's off the
Wow.
bridge. Yeah. So yeah, and also kind of doing like I'm gonna try to do like a more forced perspective thing, where you have like a big building, more realistic scale, like this one in the foreground, and then as you go further back, maybe you have one of these, and then as you go even further back, you have some of these.
Nice.
So you get more depth and kind of an illusion of depth.
Did you do that big building as well?
I didn't build that one, thank God. I bought that from a store here, and it was actually the store that was opened last year in Kirkwood, Missouri. It's called the Minifig Shop, and they buy and resell Lego, like used brick. It's awesome.
Because that takes time, doesn't it? But actually building the sets as well, if you're going to use Lego as your medium.
Yeah, I really like, it's the bane of my existence building Lego at this point. I enjoy it when it's like one set, you know, and I haven't built in a while. But right now I've been building like for like the past like 3 weeks, like nonstop. And the main reason is I'm trying to expand my Lego Gotham City to be as big as possible. I want to commit to like doing a lot in camera and not relying on CGI, like I said. So in order to do that, I need a lot of buildings. So if anyone out there has any buildings they want to sell me, any modulars, like hit me up. I'm in the market.
Do you ever do like facades then, you know, like you would for like a studio? Do you ever think about building it, you know, so that you can move them in and out of the scene, like different fronts of Gotham? And
Yeah, that's kind of like I'm trying to set up a really good situation for myself here, so I don't have to build so much moving forward. Yeah, like I want to be able to like kind of swap buildings in and out and create new scenes and in new environments. But yeah, you can check out my my Lego Batman Wayne murder animation I did recently. I say recently, but it was like a year ago. But for me, that's pretty recent. But yeah, that was a good kind of a good illustration of how I want to like Gotham City to look moving forward, but like even bigger. So yeah, that's exciting to me, kind of like pushing the limits of stop motion animation in that way.
Greg from London Bridge Bricks has a question for you. Forrest, he says, is Forrest looking forward to the new Batman movie?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I think it looks really good. I think everyone is. I got all these sets. I built them on a live stream, and yeah, I think it looks really like self-serious and self-important, which is great for parody, you know, because you can just tear that apart. But no, in all seriousness, I love Batman. I think he's like such a great character, and like the whole Bat family, like Nightwing and Batgirl and Robin and all that. So I only parody it just because I love it so much, and I can't actually make real Batman movies. If I could make real Batman movies with like multi-million-dollar budgets, that's what I would be doing. But I can't do that, so the next best thing is like stop motion parodies.
And Holly has a question. She says, why Missouri instead of stop
motion hotbed like Portland?
Thank you.
Well, yeah, I mean, Portland is a good place if you're a stop motion artist. A lot of people will work at Leica and then come down to Los Angeles and work in at Stupid Buddy and other studios. But for me, yeah, I really want to keep pursuing my own projects and kind of doing my own gigs. I worked for them for a while for Stupid Buddy in Los Angeles, and it's great because, you know, Robot Chicken is such an inspiring show for me when I was younger. But at this point in my career, like, I don't really want to work under someone. I kind of want to be my own boss, and if I can make that happen, which I have been able to for the past few years, then I'm going to keep pursuing that, because you ultimately have way more creative freedom, and yeah, you're not tied to like kind of these like larger corporate entities as much. So that's really exciting to me. I think eventually it'd be great if I didn't have to take any side gigs from any companies, and
yeah,
I won't have to even worry about YouTube ad revenue. I could just, if I could be solely funded by my viewers, then I could just make anything I wanted, and it wouldn't matter. So that's kind of my goal. I think at the end of the day is to be completely self-sufficient and be completely funded by the fans. I still have a long way to go on that. My Patreon, you know, isn't like popping off like how I want it to be. But I think, you know, if I keep making content over the years, I think maybe eventually it'll catch on. So we'll see. But yeah, right now I'm lucky because I make enough money, like I said, off the Duck song and my other videos, that I kind of am able to stay afloat that way.
Yeah, who wants to work for the man, for God's sake?
I'm just messaging the wife telling we're moving to Missouri so that I can build sets for you. I'd happily do that all day long.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, no, Missouri's great because I just had a daughter. Well, I didn't just have a daughter. She's about to turn a year old, but she's she's like gonna be way happier here. Like the air is way better here. Like, and there's way less people, way less like issues, you know, with the state. So I think it'll be a lot better for my family. But then also with my budget, I can afford a much larger space. Like in Los Angeles, I only really had like a bedroom for my studio, and now I have this whole huge basement, and that's kind of another reason why I've been expanding and building out my Gotham more, because now I have the space to do it.
Awesome.
Mr. Source says, I love how Forrest has his own Batman canon. I believe all of the Batman videos he does are in the same universe. True? Yeah?
Yeah, they all take place in the same universe. There's some continuity between them. Like in the last episode, Batman had a son, like a baby. And in the next episode, it's going to be 13 years later, and he's training his son to be the new Robin. So he has to take him out and teach him how to fight crime. But Damian, his son, he's not really into it. He just wants to play Fortnite and make his own rap videos and stuff. So that'll be the central father-son conflict of the next video.
That's hilarious. Greg is off. He says, gotta go. Dessert's on its way. Take care, everyone. And please do give the stream an animated thumbs up. Exactly. So yeah, if you've just joined, we have got FORRESTFIRE 101. We've got Emily from Emmasaurus. We've got Craig from Brickstage Pass, and Jang from Jangbricks. All their descriptions are in the links, or the links are in the description below. So go and check them out, obviously. And we've got 2 Twitchers. Forrest, do you use Twitch at all?
I don't. I just use YouTube for streaming.
Yeah. So we've got Jang is on Twitch. We've got Craig on Twitch, and Sometimes, but Jang's a bit more regular. I don't mean that in bowel movements, but just mean he's on there a lot more.
He probably is as well, to be fair.
Probably is, yeah. Oh, Jang, you know I love you. So yeah, and if you've just joined, give the stream a thumbs up as well, because that's awesome to see those little thumbs making everyone happy, and you'll probably save a kitten's life if you do that as well. Oh yeah, could happen. Emily, what have you been up to this week? You're always busy, out shopping. What's new?
Yeah. What is new? Yeah, lots of shopping. We just put out a shopping vlog today. I'd say like the biggest thing is the AT-AT over there. That thing is a beast. It is huge. There's like 785 pieces. Yeah, I got that right. Yeah, wow. Here it is. It's beautiful. We're doing something fun with it. That video will be tomorrow. So it's not just like always facing just into the corner over there. But yeah, building that was a lot of fun. Shopping, nothing else crazy. Just trying to catch up on videos, really.
How long did that take you to build?
It was like 10 to 12 hours.
Wow.
So,
that's pretty good though. Yeah.
It's pretty good. Yeah. It's $800. So I feel like with like a 12-hour build time, you're kind of getting your money back on it. Plus it's just fantastic. It's huge. Cool. So yeah, it's a cool one.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, Emily streams most of her sets that she gets new. Well, the ones worth streaming anyway, and it was a pretty good stream. They were all good streams. Like Ross was helping out and everything. And I mean, the funniest thing at AT-AT wise that I saw was the current retail one, the less expensive one, nosediving off your shelf. That was just a classic stream.
Oh my gosh, that's what I was so nervous about. So yeah, they have a smaller version of this same set. Probably like this tall versus huge, and it just like fell. Like we were streaming one day and it just fell off of pretty much where that's at right now. So like don't, knock on wood, right? Please don't fall. And it was terrifying. We were just like, what's happening? No one touched it. So that's what I'm kind of worried about with this one. I was like kind of joking about just like having a 24-hour live stream of just the AT-AT if it does fall, just in case. Like,
just play really dramatic music. Just play really dramatic music. Maybe put it on a slider and just slowly move
back and forth.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I've seen the lifestyle videos there. When you tell that thing to stay, it stays. So
it created amazing memes. Like there's so many cool memes going around. I've seen dogs humping it. I've seen it doing giant poo. It's just spawned this meme.
Oh my God.
I know the other ones were memey, but this one's just so big. It's realistic. You know what I mean? I think everyone should have 2 of them, just so one doesn't get lonely. I just want to say hello to Lego Loser who dropped in. Loads of people have dropped in actually. So Lego Loser, Nick B, Greg's gone to have his dessert, and we had also who else did I see there? Tons of people, but I've gone far too far. Keel Jones is here. Simon is here. Lorraine greeting people. We have a very short version of Chris's name this week. Chris Ghostbusting Chalice. So that's pretty cool. Normally it's a mouthful and I mess it up and he's all, Galaxy Ace says, geez, let's just hope that this one will not randomly fall off the shelf like the other one, right? I mean, it frightened the viewers. It frightened us. We were like, oh my God, what's happening?
Ah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, very crazy. Craig, have you been up to much this week?
No, I've been busy working, but I've been trying to build this tunnel behind me for my city, and it, as usual, they take up like 10 ton of bricks, so it's driving me mad. If I had more time, I think I would have got it finished, but it needs to be strong enough for Arkham to go on the top of it, so it's taken a while.
Let's have a little look at what you got going on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
it's because I silly decided suddenly that I did want to have a train track in, and fitting the loop in. I thought the only way I could actually fit what I wanted to fit on this space was to move Arkham up on top of a tunnel to cover the loop. So
okay,
that's awesome.
That's pretty cool. And yeah, you had the train running, I think it was last Thursday. You couldn't really hear it. And Jan, you've had trains running in your videos as well before, and you're kind of worried that people might get a little bit, kind of off put by them. I love Lego trains. Like, I think it's the first thing that kind of got me into watching Lego YouTube videos. Because when I got into watching Lego YouTube videos, I didn't know what to be looking for. So one of the things I found accidentally recommended was Brickstage, and his trains, and then from there were other recommendations of people like with trains in tubes going underwater, and it's just a fascinating world. And Lego trains are kind of they're not a genre, but they have their own world in Lego YouTube. It's fascinating. I mean, you love your trains. What do you think of all that kind of world, Jang?
Oh, it's my favorite thing. I mean, each time that I've made a city, so I've had to restart my city from scratch once when we moved. But anytime that I look into city planning or expansion, the very first thing that I consider is where train track can fit. Because you're limited. You're very limited by size. Even though, from a realistic perspective, Lego's train turns, their curved sections of track are ridiculously tight radius turns. Still, it takes up a bunch of space because the scale is fairly large. And so always the very first thing that I think about is, okay, where are my tracks going to be able to fit? How can I fit the maximum number of just pure linear feet of track in there? Right now, my city has 2 full-scale loops that can go simultaneously, and I've got a couple places where the tracks will diverge and then they'll come back together, so I can occasionally get shots of 2 going against each other or kind of looking like they're racing each other a little bit. And then I also have an elevated rail loop, which is a custom 4-stud wide power functions based thing that I did some years ago. It's kind of a modernized version of what monorail would be today. So I can have 4 now, because I've got under the tables, I've got my cyberpunk district that's slowly being built up. And that again, one of the first things I did was put down track. So yeah, I very much love trains, although ironically, I'm not what would be considered a train spotter or a proper rail fan. I'm not good at all at identifying what is the difference between an SD 40-2 versus an AC 4000W ACE or whatever. I don't know. I just train. Cool. I can see that these are 2 different, but I don't know the names of them, but I like them both. I like that one better. It's like I've not gotten into the specifics, which is weird, because other things in the past that I've gotten into, I've really enjoyed. I will get into those specifics, but with trains, I just from childhood, I've just been able to just see train, love train, want more train. And it's that simple. You know, it's really, really pure. I want to say almost to the reptilian brain kind of level, which is great. It's kind of ties into some of the nice things about Lego itself and the fact that it's, you know, it's tangible. It's all right. It's all right here. You can obviously interface what you do with Lego with digital stuff, and yeah, they're going into the apps and everything. But I love just how real it is, you know, and basic and just simple. It's just little colored pieces of plastic, which is it's fantastic in the modern world, you know.
Didn't you tell me before you lived near a railway or a rail station or something?
So as a child, we lived the first main house that I lived in for a number of years throughout my early childhood was fairly close to a classification yard or to a switching yard where they would, you know, make the trains. The small engine would move different cars onto different little tracks and create the longer ones and sort them out and everything. I wasn't able to actually see that until literally about a third of our block burnt down in a horrible fire. Nobody was hurt, but after that happened, everything got demolished because it was all burnt down. And then I had the ability, when my parents didn't know, or at least I thought they didn't know, I would go into the bathroom, stand on the toilet, and use the bathroom window, and I could look out and I could watch the trains being switched around, and I would spend as many hours as I could doing that. I just loved watching them, and every once in a while we could actually go over on a walk or a small trip out there, and yeah, I would watch the Southern Pacific and Amtrak and Union Pacific. We had BART trains that would come by. It's a local electric commuter rail as well, and that still sticks with me.
We had I don't know, I can't remember if you were on the same time, Jang, but we had Jack from Brick Vault on one day, and they were the first people that I saw you actually ballasting their rails, and I mean it looks amazing, but it's a lot of work and a lot of money. I know, Emily, you started doing that as well, and you did a fantastic job, and it looked awesome. But both you and Craig did something I love. It's where you sunk the rail tracks into the pavement, and it just, like, your Disney train goes along that, and it looks cool. It just you don't know the rails are there. What is there a name for when you have rails kind of in the between the tiles?
Oh gosh, I'm very similar to Jane here, where it's like, I think this looks cool. It's a train. There's tile around it. Like, I don't really know the official name.
Neither do I.
Yeah, I really don't know. I thought it looked neat. I feel like I saw something similar online, and so we tried to recreate it just using our own techniques and what pieces we had. But yeah, I love that it's kind of like a streetcar effect, you know, like going through the road plates, but it just looks like a streetcar. I mean, it's a train, you know, it doesn't actually look like some streetcar that you would see. But yeah, I just kind of made it blend in a little bit more. And also because our city was so small, we didn't have room to, you know, have a train area and then something different in the road area. And also it just made more sense to have it go through the roads. But yeah, I just thought trains were cool. I don't know the official name of it. I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe
Me neither.
Yeah.
Is it called like inlaid tracks or something like that?
Something like that. That's
Yeah.
how I would
Like
describe it.
lines, isn't it?
Yeah, because then you can have cars drive over it and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's pretty swish. Nulligus here. He wants to say hi.
Hey.
Hi.
So say hi to Emily.
Hi, Emily.
Hey.
He has a cold. Well, he has asthma, and this time of the year, when the weather changes, it makes his nose all blocked up, and he coughs. And say hi to Craig.
Hi, Craig.
Hi, dude.
And say hi to Jang.
Hi, Forrest.
Hi.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
I know his name. It's fine. Forrest said, "Nice to meet you."
Hi.
And say hi to Jang, because you kind of just ghosted him.
Hi.
You look back. What did you do today? You wasn't in school, so what did you do today?
I will go play Fortnite.
You played Fortnite. And what else did you do? What did you build yesterday? What did you build last night?
Was the Minions airplane.
Minions airplane. It's
Oh,
actually
nice, yeah.
much better. It's much better than it looks in the pictures. I thought I had this real stubby little ass, but it's actually really good playing. Like, it would look good in kind of a city, like your outer city in real life airport. It looks really good. So I think I'll get
good
one
set.
or two. It's a really good set. Yeah. Okay. Look, people are saying hello to you. Say hi, Mitty Bricks,
I'm making bricks.
and say hi. Just build it.
I built it.
Say hi, the minifig who.
Who?
Minifig who? You have to speak louder. I know there's a mic, but you're. Jesus. This loads of times before. Say goodbye to everybody and say smell you later.
Why?
What? I'm trying to talk.
I'll be quiet.
Oh no, you go and you can come back later if you want to. Yeah?
I'm be quiet now.
Okay.
Although you
can
should
come
be in
back
bed. To school now.
Yeah. That's a good point. You're supposed to be in bed. I bet Naomi's in bed.
She is. 8 o'clock. Bang, gone.
See?
I won't be in bed.
I don't want to be in
I'm a
bed.
mean daddy though, that's the
I'm
problem.
awake for ages.
No. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye.
Smell you later.
See you, Nolik.
Bye.
That's a better shot of Sai.
That's my good side, yeah. Blue and furry. Where I've one question that I forgot. I skipped over it. Forrest. Now I ask this every time I have somebody on that I haven't asked before, right? So, you kind of never had a dark age from what you've told us. You've always been into Lego, but when you got older, and you tell people what you do, like, first of all, what do you tell people you do? Do you just say I'm an animator, or do you go into the specifics? And what's your family and friends think when you told them what you do?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's always been super supportive for my family and friends. As I've gotten older, as everyone's gotten older, and we've all gotten jobs and stuff, they have less time to help me out and collaborate. I used to involve my friends a lot more in the productions when I was younger. But now I'm doing it professionally, and it's always had a good. I've always been able to make a good return with the videos and stuff. So I think that makes people happy that I'm successful and everything. When I meet people, I usually tell them I'm an animator or a director or just a filmmaker, freelance filmmaker. That's kind of what I put on like applications and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It's I bet you get it. I mean, Emily, you make these really cool reels, and it's like, when people come to my house and they see what I have and stuff, and like the Wally one is always, I always laugh when I see that one. But like, it's true. It doesn't matter what age they are, who they are, whatever. Like they come to your house and they'd actually stop and go, "What's that?" And you go, "Oh, it's made of Lego," and they'd be like, "Really?" Because most in their head they're thinking of what 6-year-old Johnny gets at Christmas, and it might be like
Sure,
a police
yeah.
vehicle. And
Definitely.
especially with the art stuff and the helmets. I mean, I'm in shops all the time, obviously, just checking out the Lego, and you get people like, older than me or, younger than me, and they walk by and they kind of take a look back and they see Carnage or they see Batman and they go, wow, look at that helmet. And, then obviously they see the gigantic ones like, the Falcon and stuff. And it's like, wow, Lego is actually cooler than I thought.
Right. Yeah, totally. Like that AT-AT doesn't even really look like Lego from a distance.
It really doesn't.
Close.
Yeah.
Pretty awesome.
Really, is that whet your appetite? Are you thinking of getting it now?
Well, I'd have to make a video with it. I couldn't just buy it just for fun. Like, it had to be for a reason. So if I can come up with like a video idea, then that's good enough. Then maybe I'll get a couple of them.
Do you think it'd be easy to animate with that one, or the legs are kind of quite bendable, aren't they?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'd have to kind of play around with it to figure out how I would rig it up. But there's got to be a way, right? Some way. Yeah.
It's kind of neat with the AT-AT. So you make this brick built little screwdriver and essentially like put it into each of its joints, so at its shoulder and elbows on the front and back, so you can make really tiny little adjustments, and it doesn't really move without that screwdriver.
Right.
And so I feel like, I don't know anything about animation, but I feel like keeping it where you want it to be would be very easy with this set.
That's cool.
It doesn't.
Yeah, that's how the original ones were animated for the movie. So I'm sure there's a way to figure it out.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
They had like little, and you can look up behind the scene pictures, and they have little like trap doors in the set where the animators pop up and animate the AT-AT and then close it and then take a picture.
Oh my
So
gosh.
we could maybe do something like that.
That'd be crazy.
There's so many parodies you could do with that, couldn't you? You could have it suddenly stomping its way towards the shields to destroy him and sitting down and begging, couldn't you, like a dog with a plays in with the meme.
There's this really great stop motion animator. His name is Patrick Bolvin, I believe. He's French, I think, and he made a AT-AT video. It wasn't Lego, but it was years ago. He did a video where it is just like that. It's like the AT-AT is a dog, and he's throwing him the frisbee, and the dog like urinates in like a fire hydrant, and stuff like that. It's really cute. It's kind of like, I think it's puppeteered though. I think he actually had like it on sticks, and he was moving it, and then animated, and then cut away the sticks. I think something like that. Or it might have been a combination of that and other visual effects. A lot of times you approach these things like, what's good for this specific shot? You know, like maybe this type of visual effect won't work for every shot, but it'll work for this angle. So it might be a combination of things if we were to actually animate that thing.
Yeah. It sounds good. Just want to let everybody know that, again, I keep actually saying this because everybody should be able to access everybody easily. So all the links are in the description below. Check out Jang, check out Craig, check out Forrest, check out Emily, and obviously then check out each other in the chat as well, because you're all awesome. Open Build Repeat has just joined and is saying hello. Aces and Eights 115 dropped in as well. How's it going? Good to see you. And don't forget to give the stream a thumbs up. And as I said, you'll save a kitten's life somewhere. You know what? I keep getting recommended kitten videos and cat videos because I've watched one or two on YouTube, and they're just coming out. And then on TikTok, I'm looking at them, and it's like, oh my god, where are these things coming from? But it's crazy. Have you thought about putting anything on TikTok, Forrest?
Yeah, I do have a TikTok. Yeah, I started that about a year ago or so, and I was kind of reluctant to get on it because I was like, oh, this is just for kids or whatever. But it's actually really cool, and you can find a lot of success there, especially with the short form content. So if I have a really quick idea for a short little gag, but I don't think it would constitute an entire YouTube video, I can animate it in like a night and then post it the next morning or whatever.
Wow.
And it's fun. It's a nice kind of like creative like reprieve from the really long projects.
Yeah, I do. My daughter uses TikTok, and she was like always saying, "Just go for it," and I did. And I really like making stuff for TikTok.
Definitely.
It's fun, and I don't know if it's the endorphin rush you get from having like something blow up in 45 minutes or whatever. But
sure, yeah.
There's a huge Lego community over there, and I'm always saying this to people. It's TikTok isn't just it's not just for kids, and it's not just girls jumping around in bikinis. Like there's loads of cool people. There's Daniel Mack. Hey, what do you do for a living? And like it's 30 seconds, and he shows these cool cars, and it's awesome. You've got another Forrest over there, Forrest Autos, I think he is. He's another cool guy, but he does all these. They all have short videos. You can put 3-minute videos on as well, and I just love it. I mean, once you find what you're looking for, but there's a really big Lego community over there, and I mean, everyone should just check out those guys, because some of the people I've never heard of, and they've got hundreds of thousands of followers. One of the guys I know from there has just hit 1 million. So I mean that's pretty good. There's a guy was on last week, Opie1 Kenobi, and he was invited to one of the Star Wars events in London 2 weeks ago. So I mean, you get noticed, and it's a really good platform.
Definitely.
I'm wondering, I don't know, you guys should be interested in this as well. What do you think will happen with Meta? And will we see 3D videos coming? And if so, Jang, does that mean they're going to be touching our face when they're looking at our videos and stuff?
Well, they're making progress, right? They continue to make progress on those gloves that have the air pockets to give you the sensation of touch. I'm not looking forward to that at all.
It's going to be awesome, and it's going to be weird, but I'm definitely going to jump on that bandwagon when and if it happens.
You could like build a digital mock with Lego, and then order the parts, and build it in real life. That'd be awesome.
Now, Brickstage Pass, Craig has donated £2. I need a size shuffle and noise, please, for Twitch. What noise are you going for today? I have to keep it clean. Lana usually watching, so be careful.
Just surprise me.
Surprise you? Okay, baby.
I've used all your other content from last week, so I need some more.
Did you use all that content from last week?
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Okay, here you go. This is for you, okay? I'll take this off so you can get a better view of me. Craigster. Jang, it's a good thing you weren't here last week. I was rubbing my nipple, so sorry.
Craig, is that the best two pounds that you've spent yet, or have you had work? Okay.
Once tech support gets hold of it, the latest one's brilliant. I mean, we're saving it up, but it's fantastic.
Oh God, he's gonna make people buy these on Twitch. I want a 5% cut. Paul Smoke Joe, how's it going? Good to see you. Lorraine says, "Oh yeah." Lorraine is, don't encourage him, please. The pound is worth more than the euro, so we'll go. That's fine by me. Just saying. Emily, sorry about that.
We're just having a good time here.
Yeah, you wouldn't be saying that if you're here last week. You'd be like, "Oh God, get me off." The internet's bad. Jang, I don't think I asked you what you've been up to this week. You're very busy because you're a professional reviewer, and I think it more reveal season now than review season, isn't it?
A little bit. There hasn't been that much coming up. I'm still mostly coming off the back of Hola. Mostly coming off the back of a lot of change over the past couple of years. You know, I had a lot of YouTube stuff just in general hit me really, really hard at the beginning of January that required me to kind of rethink everything and adjust massively. So I had to I did a lot of experiments and ended up shifting off some of my content onto different channels, kind of splitting up. So I've got a specific review channel. I've got a specific city and custom builds channel now. And most recently, after messing around with YouTube streaming for a while, I've been moving over to Twitch and building that up, and actually made Twitch partner just last month after a big push. So I'm very.
What are some of the advantages to Twitch over YouTube?
For me, I found, first of all, the very first thing that I noticed when I hit that stream button the first time, the exact same bit rate gives better video quality, significantly better video quality. So, you know, all the little work that we do behind the scenes to make our stuff look better so that we'll be more proud of it, you actually get to take advantage of a little bit more. The Twitch platform has a lot more interactivity that's built into it. There are a lot more things that you can hand the reins over to viewers and let them have effects and let them do things that makes it just a lot more directly interactive. It can be more fun. It just feels like you create more of a tight-knit experience for the entire group, where it's not just you and then the audience. You know, it brings things closer with redeems that they can do and loyalty stuff. Also, I found just the community itself that's over there tends to skew a little bit older. With the folks in the Lego group tend to skew a little bit older, and just generally are just really, really nice, kind folks that, you know, support one another, and it's just been very warm and welcoming. I felt more at home over there on the streaming end of things. I've just felt better there than on
like
YouTube.
less spam and stuff.
Absolutely,
yeah, totally. I can see that.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to mod on Twitch, even with the additional moderation tools that you do have on Twitch, than it is on YouTube. And I'm doing both of Jang's streams before. Twitch is a breeze and I can enjoy it. YouTube, I'm just modding because it can get like that.
Right. That's cool. Yeah. Maybe I'll make the jump one day. We'll see. I just have so many social media platforms already. I'm just like trying not to add more.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I said the same thing about TikTok, and now I love TikTok. So.
Well, apart from trying to do work on TikTok, you fall down the hole, as I say, like of just scrolling and scrolling. And I love Emily uses this word a lot, and I love it. You just end up procrastinating all day long, and before you know it, it's dark, and you're like, "Oh my God!" and you've done nothing.
I'm glad I haven't hopped on the TikTok bandwagon yet. So.
Oh, by the way, sorry, you were very quiet. Hey, BFAB, how's it going?
Hey, BFAB.
Great, y'all. Just got back from the doctor. Kidney stones confirmed. It's great. So, yeah.
How many?
I was just told I have a massive stone and I need surgery for it. So, it was fun. I'm like, you know what? I'm dying at work. I'm like, let's go to the hospital. I'm like, oh, wait, a side stream. Oh, what am I going to do? So, yeah.
Nice. It could be worse.
It could be worse. I could be missing, a body part. So you do bring
Yeah.
up a good.
And
Nice.
he nearly did at one stage in his life. It was a very bad car crash,
I do
but
have metal
still,
on my leg, so
Yeah.
and I do have a really cool style of walking. I call it the pimp walk. So yeah,
Kind of like that, isn't it?
yeah, exactly.
BFAB, did you ever meet Forrest before?
I've embarrassed myself on a stream before. I know who Forrest is. Forrest is a legend. I one day showed up to a stream, asked a really weird question, donated a super chat, and I got a great answer. And then some people over to your channel came over, asked me the same question. I'm like, shoot, what have I done? So, yeah.
Nice. I'm glad I satisfied you with my answer.
You give great
Yeah,
answers.
please.
I checked out one of your live streams, Forrest. Not the last one, the one before, I think. But basically, Forrest was there, and I went to check out the live stream, and Forrest was on the floor. Like a 5-year-old. Was brilliant. But listening to an audio book about Alice in Wonderland, wasn't it?
It was Walt Disney biography. Yeah.
Yes, that's what it was. Walt Disney. Yeah, I knew it was Disney. And I swear to God, I learned more about Walt Disney than I have watching any documentary.
It's a free audiobook. That's what
Yeah.
you get when you tune in.
It was an odd experience, but a brilliant experience as well. We have another person in, another guest. Hey, Danny, how's it going?
Hey, Danny.
Danny,
Guys, what's up,
How's it
BFAB?
going?
What's up, Emily? Jane. And
Hello.
of course, Craigster.
welcome to the Cool Kids Club,
Forrest.
Danny.
I don't think I've met Forrest before. It's exciting. New people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
cool.
A new friend we found. So this is LEGODANIBOB. Her name's Dani, and she originally was kind of Star Wars, and you've branched out into other things, but a bit of a walking encyclopedia when it comes to Star Wars.
A little bit.
That's true.
Trying to. This is still all devoted to Star Wars up here. I'm planning to move all non-Star Wars themes out. I have plans. It's just a matter of time. Downstairs will be dedicated to everything else. Just up here will be only Star Wars, because that's like all Harry Potter and idea sets over there. But eventually, this will be the Rebel hideout and Imperial landing pad.
Nice.
That sounds awesome. I just want to say hi to Christian. Christian dropped in, and Moments of Magic have dropped in also. Danny BFAB has kidney stones, and he was in hospital.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I love that's the first thing you tell Danny. Oh yeah, no, 100%. So it's fun.
But
Yeah.
how was
I mean,
your day?
I would have. I'm still not sure what's true.
No,
It's
it's
all
true.
true.
I have photo. Here's the thing. I literally had to take a photo that I was in the hospital just to be like, I joke around a lot, so people never believe what I say. So I'm like, Instagram here's me. So yeah.
We got an
Yeah,
ultrasound and everything.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
not.
So I literally left the hospital, went to get painkillers, and then I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta be on a size stream, and I'm like, oh no, what do? Let's drive like 80 miles an hour and get home. So
No, you didn't.
Right.
Are you
okay, let's
okay?
say I didn't drive 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, you
Well,
did try.
That's how
Yeah,
you create
no,
more
it's-
kidney stones.
It's funny because I had it last year, and I'm like, this is the worst pain ever. Next time somebody tells me like pregnancy was a pain, I'm like, have you had kidney stones? So yeah.
I tried that with my wife once, and she nearly punched my face in. I think I just had a really bad headache. And I was like, oh, it's like childbirth. But yeah, come here. Tell me about you released 2 videos, I think, this week. BFAB, how did they go? I know you were worried about the gender one.
Yeah.
Any feedback?
So the feedback has actually been quite positive. I think the thing is, a lot of people in the Lego space, they don't cover very like controversial topics. So it was a video that I worked on. I rewrote the script like 5 different times just to be as very accepting as possible, but also use research. So I had to do a lot of research for that video, and it is regarding the view count on the video. So the video didn't do well regarding views, but regarding likes, regarding comments, most people agree with me. But there were a few people that, we had discussions about it. It wasn't everyone agree with me. It's like most people agreed with me, which I was shocked, honestly. So I thought I'd offend somebody. So
We have confirmation that kidney stones are not as bad as childbirth from Lorraine.
well, okay, I looked it up on Google.
Keep them
Okay.
coming.
No, don't look that up on Google. Don't. Jang, you, I know in many of your videos you kind of agreed with the kind of topic BFAB was talking about. with the negative space and wastes on female minifigures, you're not a big fan of them, really, are you?
No, I think that for some figures that are maybe a licensed character, if it really matches that specific character, I'm okay with it. I think that a lot of them are ridiculously overdone, like just to a point that just looks silly. And most importantly for me, these are supposed to be Lego pieces. I want to be able to take a head off and put it onto another figure, and if it happens to have a different sex, I don't want that to stop me from using a really, really cool torso. So I would personally prefer that the vast majority of Lego torsos be gender neutral, just so that I can use the system as it's made. So I can just, and so all of us of all ages can just, shift pieces back and forth. Like there was a great, was it a surgeon or a doctor? I think it was the first surgeon from the CMF that made for a great Scrubs outfit, but it had the waistlines. So I used that for a little gag that I did at one point on Instagram as like a sig fig in a doctor outfit, and almost all the comments are, "Jang, why are you a girl now?" It's like, it's just so Lego, help us out. Come on.
Danny and BFAB, Nullig wants to say hi. Say hi.
Hi.
No leg.
No
How's it
leg.
going, buddy?
Hi.
What you got? What on earth is
Oh
that?
my goodness, that looks so much like me.
It's Sparky from Doc McStuffins, isn't it? No, it's not. It's Callie's
No.
Wild West.
Yeah.
There's a better
Oh.
Sheriff Callie's Wild West.
I've never seen that show.
Thought you have a new co-host. That's a horse, right?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, I was worried.
I'm gonna pony a horse.
If you all would be like, "Oh, that's not a horse," I'd be a little scared.
So there you go. He came in specially to say hello to Danny and BFAB. I thought you were in bed, you crazy boy.
No, like, how's Fortnite going for you, buddy?
Good.
You winning still?
What?
He's still winning.
Are you still winning at Fortnite?
Yeah.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. You gotta get rid of everyone. I think you gotta kill all the bad guys.
Yeah.
He keeps telling me that I'm to ask Ash and Flash to play with him the next time I'm talking to him.
Yeah.
I'll ask him. I talk to you.
Yeah, but when?
When I'm talking to, maybe tomorrow. I'll talk to him tomorrow.
Yay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Have fun, No Leg.
Daddy.
Have a good night, buddy.
Yeah.
Bye. It's so hard to get him out. Go. I think Mommy's opening chocolate downstairs. I hear it.
Nice.
Oh, you did him dirty.
That's how I get the kids excited to leave because the nieces and nephews, they never want to leave. But I say, "Oh, let's go see what's in the car. I think there's candy in the car."
I think you locked them in the car, right?
Yeah, of course. Well,
Yeah.
their parents are there, so yeah, they just drive them home.
Danny, we've been asking everybody what they've been up to this week. What have you been up to? You're busy on like everything at the moment and working.
I've been busy embarrassing myself is what I've been doing.
I wasn't gonna mention it, Danny. You know.
You need to be.
You were what?
I said I wasn't gonna mention that you embarrassed yourself. You know, don't you know?
Well, I am over it mostly now, so I think it's funny. I was just trying to record a review. I had this really cool Star Wars interview article on StarWars.com, and I was going to record it using OBS, and I clicked go live instead of record. And so this thing was long. This was a long article, and I was live streaming for 31 minutes without realizing. And I was like, "Oh my God, what did I say?" Like, I could have been doing stupid, I don't know, was I making stupid noises? Luckily, it was not bad. I think there was one mishap, but it was not bad. It could have been so much worse. And
I think it was funny because I came there and I said hi, and I'm like, "Why is Danny ignoring me for 5 minutes?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'm just gonna leave." And then I come back and everyone's like, "Yo, Danny doesn't know she's live." So I sent you 3 messages. I'm like, "Hey, yo." What's going on?
Yeah.
So
honestly, it was pretty funny. I got the video edited and posted. I think it worked out pretty well. The article was interesting. It was all about the obviously Jens was in the interview panel, but then there was Chris, who's head of product. I thought his perspective was really cool. And then represented from Lucasfilm. So they're talking about like all the adult-oriented sets and how they're just broadening their marketing strategies more intentionally. So I was like, wow, that could be like an increase on Lego Star Wars sets that are 18 plus, and I think that's what we're seeing for next year's assortment.
No, 100%. I mean, even look at sets this year, like the helmets, the larger direct-to-consumer sets, the Darth Vader chamber. Like, clearly Lego knows it's working. So
Yeah. So that was a cool interview. So I did that, and then I've been playing lots of Star Wars Battles, which is the Apple Arcade like game for your phone. But I don't have an iPhone, so I've been playing it on my Mac like a nerd, and it's such a fun game. It's so simple. It's just like a strategy game, like Battle Royale or Clash Royale style. Sorry, my camera's being stupid. And can you still hear me though?
I like your new look, Danny. You look so much better.
Yankee, yeah, I know. I've been doing this like night cream and like just turning my face all black. It's charcoal mask kind of thing. Actually, I'm getting some charcoal masks. You guys should get that. It's the best thing.
I have one of those.
They're nice. I like them too.
Yeah. All right.
I'm told I look better when I wear them and don't take them off. So yeah.
Oh
But
my
God. What is with charcoal? I've seen charcoal toothbrushes, toothpaste, soap.
I use that.
I think there's charcoal toilet paper. Lorraine? No, I think she said I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm using it wrong, apparently.
I think you want to use charcoal on your toilet paper.
No, but I nearly accidentally went live on Instagram yesterday. Now I'm not trying to be funny. I was actually on the toilet, and I was like, oh my God, I'm alive, and I had to like hide it. And I was like, oh my God, like, and it was so embarrassed. And then I was not even embarrassed at all. I've been trying to do new things with all the different things and not be afraid to like use filters and stuff like that. And have you seen that How Old Am I filter? It's basically 26, baby. 26.
Hey!
Were you on the toilet then when he tried that one out?
Oh my God.
I have literally like regarding like embarrassing things in my lifetime. I learned always to wear clothing on stream. That's all I'm gonna say. So
Yeah.
Some like kids are traumatized now. So
Oh, no.
You do get a scare when you leave your camera facing you. You'd kind of like want to take a photograph of like a seagull or something who's been attacking a woman to get chips from her, and it's like, oh gee, it's me, like, and you're like, God, you know, that's never good.
I usually try to hide my face when I go live now. Like I will cover my face with anything and then try to lie to them like, hey guys, brother from another brick. Or there's like a shirt in front of my face in case it goes like the camera turns around. I don't know. I mean, my face is there, right? I mean, people know how I look like, unfortunately. But, you know, that's how it is, so.
People know what you look like, so why do you still not just show your face?
You know, that is a great question, Cy, and I have a great answer. You know, see, when you have a bunch of double chins, you know, you can hide those in photos by different angles. In real life, when you're talking, your chins are flopping up and down. You know, people see that live, and, you know, so, yeah.
It depends on the angle. If you kind of hold your head up like that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if I do that, yeah.
Good old insecurity.
No, that is kind of literally the gist of it. It's like when you take a photo, like I don't edit my photos, but like when you take a photo, you know the angles, you can turn certain ways. When you're on a camera, people see everything. They see all your flaws, they see everything. So, I mean, once I get a six-pack and, you know, get a jawline again, which will be like another 10 years, I will show my face. So.
Or you just love yourself for who you are.
Yes.
I know, that's what all people, you know, I've had somebody told me that. You always tell the ugly, okay, Force, you always tell the ugly kid that, so then they feel better about themselves, you know, just be like, oh, you're perfect the way you are, you know.
Well, it's
but
true.
I appreciate it, Force. You know, that's great advice. And Cy, and everyone else who wants to give advice, but I'm talking too much. So
I like the mystery, though.
Yeah, yes. Even though my face is in my profile pic right now, no one ever knows. So
No.
I have a hard time.
We want to see the
believing that.
before and after.
Usually because he's naked on the bed. That's why he doesn't turn his camera on.
No, always underwear, boys and girls. You know, always. Now,
well, here's the truth. When I first encountered you, BFAB, I saw your face on your profile, and I thought to myself, okay, that's obviously not him because he's good looking and he has a profile on his face. Why is he not just in it? And it turns out that's his real face.
That's his real face.
It's unfortunate. Yeah, it's you know. It's sad. Yeah, people see my face and they run. Have you ever, so I walk into the Lego aisle to feel like minifig packs. Kids take off running. You know, they're like, "Oh my God!" So yeah, clearly I still have a scary face.
Well, no, I made a whole video the other day, right? And I was kind of facing the camera, but I kept turning and I was opening boxes, and I noticed like rolls of flab appearing on my cheek, and my cheek turned into my neck, and I just had this like fleck, like a face and a neck. I was like, oh my god.
I watched that.
I can relate, and that's why I have a beard. I mean, so it's really funny. So today, after I went to go get my medication, I showed the lady my ID, and she's like, "Oh, so who are you in relation to myself?" And because in the ID, because like you get a little chunky, I didn't have my beard. You see this face; it's really big. The lady didn't even notice it was me. I'm like, so how am I in relation to myself? And then she's like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know that was you." I'm like, "Thanks, guys. Thanks."
Oh my gosh. So what's your workout routine like? Tell me.
Yeah, you probably thought I lost weight, but it's like, beards. If you're a little chunky and you can grow a beard, you know?
Actually, that's funny. They were talking about that earlier at work today, how like beards will hide your double chin.
Oh, it's great. Every time like I'm told to shave and I do it, people are like, "Oh my god, that's you, you're gross. Put back on your beard." I'm like, dang it. You know? So
I wish I could grow a beard. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I think all men should try. For sure. It looks weird when men shave to the skin. Not right.
Of course, you have something good going for you, man.
Yeah.
And lucky for you, you don't have to impress anyone if you don't want to, because you're married, right? You have a wife and a kid. You
have a hot wife, and I have a beautiful baby girl. So
you guys are great. I love your guys' chemistry on streams. Like you guys vibe so well together. It's great.
Yeah. No, she's awesome. Yeah, she's the perfect woman, and I feel like very very blessed to be with her. Very very happy that she puts up with all this Lego.
And if she's watching this, you just earned some brownie points. So good job for us.
But I think we're all lucky. We're all lucky in that aspect because Jang, your wife has put up with it for years. Craig, your wife's put up with it for years. Emily, your husband encouraged you. So like that's
yeah.
You know, made in heaven. And
he got me into Lego.
Around the house. You know, it's like a Lego store room. It's not like a Lego store in front. It's like the back room of a Lego store. Boxes it, and like you're right, we're really lucky, and I know we all appreciate our other halves. Moments of Magic is obviously on the juice tonight. My wolf would let me grow a bread. Wife,
that's fantastic.
Were you saying that my wife puts up with my Lego? She puts up with me. That's what she's screaming at the television, not the Lego.
You think?
I have to put up with that man.
Yes.
Yeah, if we ever get divorced, I guess she's gonna like just take half my brick just to spite me.
Oh god, yeah.
I mean, hey, that's bad.
Brutal. Cut me in half.
So Moments of Magic is not allowed in the kitchen, so there'll be no bread making there. Well, you're lucky. You're lucky. Put it that way.
I wish I could make bread. I don't know how to do anything. Literally, it's sad. Like I know how to order a vegan pizza from a place. That's all I know. Oh, let me rephrase it. I know how to heat up a frozen vegan pizza, but that's all I know how to do.
Like cauliflower pizza?
Okay, so I haven't stepped that far. I tried a cauliflower pizza once, and I realized why people think vegans have miserable lives. So
it's good, man. It's actually good.
I need to try a better one because last time I tried, I'm like, what am I eating? And then it was like falling apart, and I'm like, you know what? What am I doing with my life? Then I grabbed some liquor, and it helps. So.
Yeah, the liquor always helps for sure.
I'm like, wow, this isn't as bad as I thought. So,
Lorraine has something else in her mind. She said, "I thought you were going to say Magic Mike there." I have no words.
Sounds like Lorraine.
No words. Yeah, she must be watching Magic Mike downstairs.
Hopefully, no legs in bed.
I'm so curious if this is your real picture because like this picture looks so serious and like I feel like this voice does not match this face.
Everyone says that. Just picture like on dating apps how that goes for me. I'm kidding. They don't actually do anything. It's weird. So I have a very serious, scary face, and then they hear my voice and they're not intimidated anymore. Like you talk to a female like, "Hey, how's it going?" And when you sound like this, they might see your face and run, but then they hear you and like, "Oh, okay."
It might be like a defense mechanism, like something you put on just because you're so scary.
I wish that's how it worked. If I had a scary, creepy voice, I'd totally use it. But I still have a voice that I did when I was like 16. So
it's a good one. I should get you to voice on a video sometime. That'd be fun.
If you ever need a Joker, I laugh really creepy. I've been compared to the Joker in looks and voice. So
yeah, it's a good quality of voice. I feel like I could use it in some way.
Yeah, you don't brush your teeth for a while, you end up looking like the Joker, Just I just need the green hair.
I'm kind of jokered out, honestly. Like I don't even want to feature him for a while.
If you ever need a creep or something, so I got you.
Okay. Yeah. No, that sounds just about right.
A psychopath. I've been in a mental hospital for almost a year, so I got you.
Excellent. Okay. I'll reach out to you.
Woohoo!
Excellent.
Have you seen Suicide Squad yet, Forrest? The second one.
The new one? Yeah, I have. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a fun like James Gunn movie, but like in terms of like DC movies, I kind of wish they would take it more seriously, because I feel like I love DC and I want to see it like fully realized on screen. Whereas they were kind of going more of a comedy route. They're going more of a Guardians of the Galaxy, Marvel funny kind of movie. And yeah, I'd rather see the DC universe portrayed in like a serious light, but not like in a horrible Zack Snyder serious kind of light. It's like it's a fine balance to strike. I think Chris Nolan did it really well.
What do you think to Polka Dot Man though? Because I quite enjoyed that in there.
Yeah, that I liked the movie. Yeah, I thought the movie was enjoyable. It's just not quite the direction I'd like the DC universe to go. But the actual film itself was fun. I could see myself like rewatching that.
Cool.
Nullig is back. He wants to show everybody his aeroplane.
No lag. Let's see what you
Yeah.
have, buddy.
Let's see it.
Nice.
Oh my goodness! Looks like it's
Nice.
about to crash. It's so cool.
Yeah.
And tell them there were no stickers.
And there was no stickers.
Not a
And
single sticker.
What did you get inside?
And the minions.
Yeah, show them. Oh, they're not there. They're gone on holidays, are they?
When they about one.
Oh, okay. I'll hold the fort while you go and get a minion, apparently. But check it. It's much better looking than it looks in the pictures. I know that is a little bit too kind of slanty, but you get away with that as kind of like one of those city-to-city airplanes if you had a Lego City Airport.
It doesn't look bad. I feel like it depends how you angle it. You know.
Yeah.
I have doubts that could actually create any kind of lift.
This is so funny.
That's true.
Alien.
Hold them up.
Oh,
Oh,
cute.
Little Sai.
I love a minion.
What's it? Is he Kevin?
Wow, that looks like my ex-girlfriend. Wow.
I tried to go see the Minions movie a few years ago when I was in theaters, and I had to leave in the first 10 minutes. And I went down and I bought a pack of smokes and smoked 10 of them. Came back like for the last tail end of the 5 minutes, and that was good enough for me.
Don't smoke, kids.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
That's
I
Unless
since
you
then.
want to, you know.
Haven't
It makes you have a
smoked since.
deeper voice. So if I smoked, I'd sound like I'd sound better. I think.
You
Like,
would,
you come
yeah.
back-
You
come back from
would
smoking
sound more
10
gruff
smokes,
and
like-
manly. You'd probably.
I
die
know,
earlier,
and
too.
ladies would stop like friend zoning me, so it helped.
And you'd smell like smoke all the time, so that kind of cancel it out probably.
Oh shoot, dang it! I need to find another hobby or something.
Something.
I need to stop telling
You
them I
should.
like Lego when I meet
fall
them. Hey,
back
my
on
name is
alcohol.
BFAB and I like Lego. So
I'll just show them.
It's all in the
Okay.
house.
Solo Brick Builders here. Hey, Solo, good to see you, dude. And he's saying hello to all of the people here. We have how do I say that? Commissariat. Nice playing the train the shop. Thank you. I hope I said your name right. If not, I'm sorry. Nullig wants to show you the back of the airplane.
Yeah.
At some stage, you'll go to bed, won't you?
Yeah.
Point it at that and show them the back. So that's the back,
Okay.
and it opens up. And what's
The
in the back?
minions.
Oh,
Nice.
gosh. Minions in there. Is that a bit like where they sleep?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
now those
So
minions are living a very bougie life. I'm kind of jealous.
Or
You've got a nice tight sense of community. For sure.
It's more of a cult, you know. So yeah.
Right. Definitely.
If I put a
They do-
minion,
they
okay,
do
he wants to put a
sacrifices.
minion
Weekly.
Yeah, it
Weekly
just
sacrifices.
weekly sacrifices. It's cool, you know.
It's very cool. Keeps the blood flowing.
Yeah, we usually go by like the people with the least amount of subscribers, and then we go up. So yeah.
Keeps people on their
Okay,
toes.
bye.
Or you have
I know.
nothing to worry about. Your sacrifice will be in like the next 20 years, so you're good.
Yeah. No, my channel will have to take a real nosedive. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all dead, so you have nothing to worry about.
I feel safe. Thank you. Thank you, BFAB.
Yeah, no worries.
Good. Good.
Commissary wants to know what's Jang working on. Jang is working on
Police station. So I finally took apart or started taking apart my original from 2013, 2014, something like that. Got some pieces of it still hanging around here. The base, the original base. It's all that remains, and I've just been getting as many parts out of it as I could, using kind of the major chunks of it, because it was built in a kind of modular way to begin with, using the major chunks as basically mock-ups. Like, okay, there's going to be some building here, and then there's going to be a thing sticking out over here, and then just slowly turning that into something new and real. So it's going to take up pretty much the same amount of space as the original, which was one of my very first. I think it was my first proper building, like something custom building out of my dark ages, something larger than a tiny little shop. So it's a little bit bittersweet to lose that, but the new one's going to be much better. I hope.
I do remember watching that one. To be fair, I tried to copy it a little bit. Won't lie. Is that why you were sorting them translucent blue then the other day for all?
Other way around. I did on the Patreon stream. I did a sorting of a bricks and pieces order that I got in, and some of the parts needed to go into my transparent larger bricks bin back here, and I wasn't able to close the drawer. It had reached that point where it needed to be sorted out more, and so I went through and found what parts I had the most of or too many of that were the same between each other, and I took out light blue. There's a reason for this story. I took out trans light blue 1x2x5s, and I took out the trans dark blue, the classic 2x2s, just regular bricks. And I looked at them on my desk, and I'm like, I really like transparent colored pieces. They look like candy. They look delicious and beautiful, and I need them. And I didn't realize I had so many of these. And I'm like, okay, it's time for me to use these parts, because when a drawer that I don't want to split into more drawers reaches the point where it's full, I need to use a lot of pieces from that. Like, create a project to use the parts. So that's exactly what I did here. I'm like, police station.
Almost like a futuristic police station, like in like a utopian world or something.
A little bit. It's going to be interesting because it's going to have this is going to be a little bit taller over here. Literally, these are the first pieces I put down. It's like, okay, I want to get that feature of the trans dark blue. It's going to have a roof right here for this section, and so that's going to end. But then it's going to have a cantilevered part out here. So it's actually going to be kind of like.
Yeah.
Like this. So there will be like a missing floor in between, just for I don't know, just for fits and giggles, just to be different. And this will be like 4 stories high over here.
That'll be really nice.
It's pretty cool. Everyone is pointing out your Titanic collection, Jang. Cameron and Solo.
It's like Goldilocks and the Three Bears, isn't it?
Yeah. Obviously that's the Lego one, and this is the larger of the Kobe ones. So this is $630 worth of Lego. That's $250 US worth of Kobe. And then at the end of my live streams over on Twitch for the big Lego one, I had an hour and a half left over and went into full speed build mode to do the little one. Got that done real quick, which is a $100 version from Kobe. Down at the end, you can just start to make out.
Nice.
Those Titanic streams were really good because they were you could add extra time to it, couldn't you? I was meant to go to bed and I had to play along, so I reluctantly bought some bits from Twitch that I never normally do and thought I'm gonna add to your pain. It was quite good fun. Yeah.
Much appreciated.
Forrest is waving. Is Forrest waving at us, or are you waving?
Oh, I was just waving at my daughter. She
that's
came over, and my wife came over holding her and saying hi.
I thought it was waving at Sai. It was all
I was like, do I wave back? Is he waving at
I'll
me?
wave my daughter and let her know I'm still around.
We've only just met.
I know. Moments of Magic says, I presume to Jang, will you put LED light between the bricks?
Not in the transparent, the big transparent blue sections, but the building will eventually be fully lit up, kind of like the hospital. That's one of the reasons I wanted to have a lot of windows on the front, so that when I light it up and then turn the lights into night mode in the city, you'll be able to see a lot of the interior detail without really getting up close and without having to take it apart and stuff.
Jang, do you have like a rough part of town? Like, do you have an area of your city that's like run down, like kind of like dodgy?
No, I don't have enough space for that. However, underneath the city, in the more viewer run, more viewer inspired section, I'm splitting it up into a cyberpunk futuristic cyberpunk, you know, kind of typical lower Coruscant Blade Runner kind of feel, and
Right
then
on.
there actually already is the start of a wall, and outside that wall is going to be the Badlands. So that's
Oh,
going to be
sweet.
like the post-apocalyptic area outside the cyberpunk kind of oasis almost, and
Hell
that's
yeah.
where things will get definitely a lot more dodgy.
That sounds awesome. I like having the different areas.
Yeah.
Breaks it up. Not,
Mhm.
you know, not everything's like super clean and fancy all the time.
Emily, are you planning on having a dodgy area in yours? Like you could have like some Batman fight scenes going on or something.
I mean, so currently we have like a little Marvel strip set up for Halloween. Like my husband brought out all of his old Marvel minifigures. So they were just kind of fighting. Spider-Man was hanging from a web, hanging off of a modular. And so we want to have this kind of strip where it's like farmers markets and stuff, but it'll kind of change through the season. So like for New Year's, we'll probably have something there. And eventually we have a Disney World, but along Main Street, I want to have parades and stuff like that. I don't know, like our city is, I don't know, it's kind of like a reflection of like what I want the world to be like.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to have a dodgy kind of crime-ridden area. Like I want it to be bright and happy and colorful. Like I want people to be at Disney World having a good time, not like being mugged or anything. I don't know. Also, it's crazy. So like we switched out, like most of y'all probably noticed, we switched out our master bedroom and made that the Lego City room, and now we sleep in a smaller bedroom in our house because we're obsessed with Lego. And it's a lot of space. It's a lot more than it was before, but there's only so much space there already. And like with new modulars coming and just like taking that into account, any new buildings like the haunted house from last year, the new modular for 2022. You run out of space so fast and you don't think about it. You're like, oh, wow, I have this huge room. And it's just filled up within a few months. You're like, now what? Do we like go find a new house? Like, how does this work?
Going vertical.
Yeah, like multiple layers. I've seen some people do
Yeah.
that in their cities. Maybe we'll do that. And trains take up so much space. Speaking about trains earlier. So
You could get a vertical extension. So like get spiral staircase and then just have another level in that room. Like I'm sure Ross has already come up with mad plans for that room to make it bigger.
Or just work with the space you've got. It's probably the best way
No,
to
no,
do
no.
it.
right. We have tried working like more vertically in the city. So like I'm doing a Mario world, like a Lego Super Mario inspired thing with like Ross has been really into motors recently. So trying to motorize like within the warp pipe, having the piranha plant come up, open its mouth and go back down.
Saw that.
And it looks really good, but we're kind of making it as a ridge, you know, so you can kind of put these sets up on top so you can fit more stuff. Just, you know, it's less space on the table, but more bricks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been kind of a workaround with, you know, we want all these sets here. How do we incorporate all of those? So I want to do more mountains and hills and stuff like that, but it takes
just
so
wanna
many
say-
bricks. It's so
Sorry,
expensive.
Emily, I just want to say goodbye to Moments of Magic. Moments of Magic says, "Okay, guys, got to get back to work, but it was awesome talking to you all. Look forward to following you all." That was the first time Moments of Magic has been here, as far as I know. So great to meet you. Follow everybody, as you said. Subscribe to everybody. And if you're around tomorrow at 7:30, London Bridge Bricks is the name of a YouTube channel. We all hang out there as well. It's really good fun. And if not, we'll see you back here next week or on one of the other guys' live streams, which is cool.
Wow, Sai, you were such a good person promoting other people.
You have to. We're a community after
You know,
all.
I just had.
I know BFAB be like, no, just stay with me.
Yeah, just promote me. That's all. Come on. What are you doing?
Emily, sorry, continue if you please.
Oh, yeah, I was just talking about how expensive Lego is, like building up bricks, but I think we already know that.
Are you lighting up as well? I can't remember if you've started lighting yours up.
We want to, but the issue with the wires is we like to look inside it and like move our buildings around. And so having these wires makes it kind of tricky to do that. And especially since we're still kind of in the beginning stages of our city. It's been like 6 months, but I feel like we're still starting. Like when you move stuff around, doing it with wires, it makes it so much harder. And also, yeah, it just kind of tangles with it. I don't know. Like maybe we just need a different wiring kit. I've seen people doing like the magnet ones, something like that.
And the modulars, the different
Yeah,
floors. It's quite
so that
cool.
would be
It's
kinda
expensive,
cool.
isn't it? I want to do mine, but that's another reason to go mills, isn't it? Because it gives you the option to do it later on as well.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing with ours is the mills.
Yeah.
I think the predicament though, when it comes to like lighting kits, the sets are so expensive. You know, like they're crazy. You know, that's just my problem.
Yeah.
I'm broke.
That's
what I'm trying to imply.
It's ridiculous. It's a bit like the display cases and display stands, aren't they? You can pay nearly as much for the set as you can lighting it up and displaying it.
Oh gosh, like even a Falcon, this stand for it's like $100. It's an $800 set, and like, what are you gonna do with it? You know,
Throw it on the floor or something.
I mean, it's a giant pancake. Like, where are you gonna put
It takes
that?
up so much space. You have to put it like that.
So having a stand just makes it so much easier to display.
Yep.
But it's $100. It's crazy.
Yeah,
I built my own for that because I didn't want to pay out for the Wicked Brick one, so I built my own out of Technic bricks.
Oh, nice.
Hey.
That's good. Tommy Jensen says, hi, all. Can't stay long. Just wanted to say hi to Jang, Emily, and Danny. I'm sure you want to say hello to everybody else, but he's probably typing away and has to go.
Well, Tommy, I thought we had something. Come on, dude. After everything we've been through.
I'm used to it. I'm not bothered.
We're talking about making mountains and hills and stuff. Jang does a really good. He's really good at it. So I mean, maybe talk about it. You know, in a private chat or whatever, some stage. But his mountain thing, where the Space Force live, is awesome. You still have that built, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And also lighting. Jang has done lighting, and you've experimented with different lighting systems too. Everything from wireless little, what were those ones? We won't talk about them, because that's a sore subject.
Yeah.
God.
Failed Kickstarter. A lot of people immediately know what that means.
Yeah.
But they look promising. I mean, I was really interested in those.
Are we talking about the wireless one still? I thought we weren't going to talk about
we you see, they're interesting, so I think we won't mention the name because they don't need to be promoted. Explain what they basically were.
Yeah, it was using I don't know the exact science behind it, but it's very similar to a wireless charger, a wireless phone charger, just with extended range. So it basically just transmitted electrical potential through the air. Very, very little of it, but they had a really tiny circuit in each brick. So it was 1 by 1 clear bricks with a circuit and an LED inside. Little trickery that would occur to make it seem like there was more electrical potential, more voltage. Basically, it was powering LEDs at a distance, and it just had a pad underneath, a large wireless charging sort of pad underneath, so you could just put a little brick there and it lights up. I
wonder if Lego would ever actually introduce that into the modulars, like built-in lighting. It'd be awesome.
They should.
That'd be the
trick, aren't they?
Yeah, they've shown that they're experimenting with it. What was it, a couple years back, where they did a little store display just to kind of start to get people's casual feedback. Just if we had lighting kits, what do you think? Like,
yeah,
they didn't even make a big deal about it. So they're clearly interested in it. They know that there's a market. The problem is how to do it, because again, like Emily was saying, just the wiring can get insane and can be very fragile and can be very not fun to manage that stuff, especially if you ever want to open something up. Like what do you do? What do you do if you have a 2-story thing? Even if you have a 1-story thing, you just want to take the roof off, because all the lights have to be connected on a building, have to be connected underneath the roof. So if you take that off, now you have to disconnect it. And like the magnetic, touch connectors, where they're not full time connected. It connects when you put it on. You take it off. You don't have to worry about wiring then. Those can be testy. They can be expensive. They'll get dirty. There are a lot of practical concerns.
I guess I'm curious. Like, I've heard reviews of these where, like, from the magnet to the top floor, like the bottom floor will be really well lit, the middle floor maybe a little bit, but then the top floor is very dim. Is that the case that you found with these?
That definitely is an issue with just the amount of contact that's made. So essentially, a lot of those don't make enough contact. They don't make a good a good enough electrical connection at each of those touch points. Just because there's not enough material, there's not enough weight on it. It's like having a couple of wires that you're just barely touching right at the tip, and so it loses voltage at every step. Exactly.
Yeah.
Cameron has something less to say. Cameron says, Emily's channel was my introduction into the LEGO community. Never went further into the community until Emily came along. So welcoming. That's true. Like, I mean,
That's so
yeah,
sweet.
you're a breath of fresh air.
Oh. Yeah.
Emily,
mean-
you're great until you didn't answer my questions out one day I was hurt. So, you know.
Oh, well. Other questions.
My questions were genius. I am still surprised with how
Like, unicorns were involved, and I was like, I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I asked about how you felt with like unicorns running Parliament, and you didn't respond. Yeah, so
Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah.
yeah, you know, a little hurt here. So
Sorry, BFAB.
You've thick skin. You're never hurt.
Sorry, not sorry.
I'm not really that sorry.
I literally go out of my way when people do the little like Q&A thing or whatever. I go out of my way to ask the most random questions where people will sit back and go like, "What is this guy on?" You know, so it's always fun.
You do. I love reading your questions. I read through some of the questions on people's Q&As, and I come to BFABs, and it's never just one question, and they're the maddest things, and you're like, is he on nitrous or something? What's going on? You know, the unicorns were good for a while. I liked those ones.
Yeah, that was fun. It's fun to read them. You know, when you do like the Q&As on Instagram, you're like scrolling through people's questions, and you're like, okay, these are fun. Like a lot of them will be the same thing. Like, what's your favorite set? And it's like, okay, cool. But like unicorns, you know, like mix it up a little bit. It's like,
Yeah.
it's an entertaining. Yeah.
You could do a great reel on reading BFAB's question, couldn't you? To be fair,
Honestly, I think it's been great. Yeah, definitely. That would, yeah. I don't even know what I would do with it, but people would just be like, did someone really ask this?
You could title it weirdo YouTube Q&A questions.
You know what? I'm down.
Perfect.
That's a genius idea, Emily. You should do it.
Yeah, you should do it. Yeah, actually do it. Reels is crazy. I've been posting on Reels the last few weeks, and
Yeah,
like
please do
it's
yours.
way too much fun.
They're
Yo,
so
Danny, you
fun.
found on the Reels thing too?
Yeah, they're brilliant.
you can tell
Yeah.
you're having fun.
Some of those vids are starting to pop off, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is addicting.
They're so
Yo, Danny,
fun.
remember me when you're famous, okay?
Yeah, don't worry, I'll always remember.
That's a no.
Thanks, Danny.
Emily, you have about 3 or 4 that have like gone over 1 million views at this stage, haven't you?
Yeah, I have 4 million.
Sheesh.
Yeah, like a lot of them do really well, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And the thing with Instagram is like usually the first week or so, it'll just kind of die off after a bit. But then like a week later, it'll just hit 500K. And you're like,
Yeah.
cool. Like you see a spike in followers. You're like, what's happening? And you go back, you're like, oh, wow, that one took off. That's kind of neat.
The funniest one is you with the
I agree.
Oh, that was gold. Yeah.
Hilarious.
That's the
I
best.
love how just from that description, people are like, oh, yeah, that one. Yeah.
How
Yeah,
did
yeah.
you guys identify?
I'm like, yo, Emily has some really weird dance moves, but I'm all for it. So
But you
Great,
have to
yeah.
kind of like just do it for the laugh and make a bit of fun out of yourself, because you know it is entertaining, and you know it's just a bit of fun. It's, you know, it's a bit of a break from the kind of just more serious YouTube video you might have to do. It's just, you know, having a bit of fun. But Forrest, another thing I wanted to, you've over 1 million subscribers, correct?
It's true.
So you have 2 YouTube plaques. How old were you when you got your first one?
Oh man, I don't know. It was a long time ago. The first one's for 100K, or actually, I threw that one away because the million one supersedes it. So you don't need the other one. You know, 1 million's much
wait,
more.
you threw it away? What?
Yeah, I smashed it. I threw it in the dumpster.
There's a guy.
You know, I don't blame you.
There's a guy on YouTube. There's a guy on YouTube who buys people's YouTube plaques they don't want anymore.
I don't want anyone else to have it. I just want it in the trash.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Respect.
It's like I hate when YouTubers like hang them next to each other. I'm like, it just seems stupid to me. Like, just hang the one that's the most recent one. It's like too much stuff.
I like your logic.
Yeah, it's like, don't hoard things. Like if I get the diamond one, I'm throwing away the gold one.
Hey.
You can send it to Ireland.
No, yeah, I actually I don't even know. Sometimes I look at it, I'm like, am I like superficial for hanging it up? Like I start thinking about it too much, and I'm like, maybe I should just throw that one away too.
No, Forrest, you are better than everyone that has less subs than you actually confirmed. So keep it up there. You have to let people know.
Don't
Yeah,
throw it away.
I don't know. Like, yeah, it's kind of like, it's almost like yeah, just like an ego thing, you know. I don't want to.
But to be fair, Forrest, you worked really hard. Like out of like animators and stuff, like your stop motions. Okay, this is me sucking up to Forrest, guys. Okay, feel free to call me out. Your stop motion doesn't look like stop motion. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks, man. Yeah, I want it to have like a you know, a painterly, you know, cartoon effect. You know, I don't want it to look jittery or, yeah, it's got to be smooth. It's got to have character behind it. It's got to have weight. All those things that, you know, you get from traditional hand-drawn animation. I want to bring that to the stop motion realm.
I saw that collab that you did with Lego. I'm like, oh my god, it's crazy just to see like how far you've come from like your Batman stuff. I mean, the Batman stuff still holds up to today's standards, especially like regarding jokes and stuff. But like it's just crazy. So okay, now I'm gonna stop sucking up to Forrest. Forrest, I hate your channel. You suck. Okay, I'm good.
I know. Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I wish I could get more content out there, but yeah, it just takes so much time. But I've got lots of ideas, so I'm just gonna keep doing it for as long as I physically can.
I was actually gonna say the one where the race is on with all the
Yeah.
new ships and stuff. I thought that was Lego. I was like, why can't I find this video on Lego's channel?
Right.
And I was like, wait,
posted it
what?
on the website. Yeah, they hired me to do it. So yeah, it was like a video that they wanted me to make. Or they wanted me to do an advertisement for their new fall line of Lego Star Wars.
Yeah.
And they're like, do you have any ideas or whatever? And I was like, how about we do a race? Because it's a bunch of different, you know, characters from all different timelines in the Star Wars universe. So I couldn't really think of an actual real plot, but a race seemed to be like the best thing.
It was clever.
And yeah, I wanted it to kind of be like a hybrid CGI and stop motion blend. So that video is about like half computer generated and half actual photography.
Dang.
Yeah,
That's
it's kind of
impressive.
interesting. It was a new technique for me because like mostly it's in the past it's been just full stop motion, but for this it had to cover such an expanse. Like I couldn't build everything in real life.
Right.
And
Yeah, 'cause that was
also
my next
to-
question is
sorry,
like, how long
sorry.
does it take?
That video took 4 weeks, but I was working on it with my buddy Gus. Gus was the one who handled all the CGI, so most of the sets and the environments were him, and then most of the ships and stuff were me. But Lego also actually provided us like 3D like CAD models of the ships themselves.
Wow.
So Gus was able to import those into Blender and animate them for select shots. So a lot of shots were like a combination of stop motion and you know, digital brick.
Wow.
Do you shoot it differently when you do that then? When you know it's going to have CGI in it?
Yeah. There's every shot's kind of a new approach, a new technique, you know, whatever best suits that moment. But for that project, I innovated a lot. Like I've been using this projector that I bought. It's like this it's called a VAVA projector. It's very bright and very clear. It's a 4K one, and you can create the background first, you know, depending on like what kind of shot you want. Like I'll tell Gus like I want this kind of shot. We do storyboards, and then I want the lighting coming from this direction. Like we had the lighting, the sun's always behind the ships, so it was always consistent. And then he would set up the angle and then export a render of, you know, the mountains going by or the background going by, and then I would set up the ship in front of that and then shoot it like rear screen projection style, like how they used to do in the old days. And they've been doing that more now with the Mandalorian too. Those are actually like LCD screens or LED screens, but yeah, it's called the volume basically. It's a wraparound kind of environment that simulates a photoreal set.
Right.
That is detail.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's great to work that way because it's a lot better than shooting on blue screen or green screen, which I still did a lot of for that video. But for any shot that I could do on the projector, I wanted to, because it's always really challenging to get the opacity of the windows to look real with blue screen. And you actually spend a lot more time in editing trying to make it look right, getting the right light wrap and the right ambient occlusion and environment properties. And if you can just shoot it in front of an actual background, pretty much all the work's already done for you. So it's pretty nice.
Have you ever done?
I'm
a
rewatching
behind
this.
the
It's
scenes
so
video?
crazy. That's crazy.
Have you ever done a behind the scenes video?
Yeah, so I have a second channel, and Lego actually commissioned me to do 3 behind the scenes videos for that specific project. So I did one. They wanted one on how to do a basic walk cycle, and then the other 2 I pitched, which were the projector one, and then I did one about the storyboards, the animatic. So yeah, you can check those out. That's on my second channel. It's called FORRESTFIRE 1001.
So I'll put that in the description when this is finished, and if you're watching this back, you'll be able to check that out as well, because yeah, I'd be very interested in that. I saw a kind of a little documentary thing about the Wizard of Oz, and they showed how they made the tornado happen. It was like basically a stocking, and they blew wind in, and it was rear projection, and it was like, oh my god, wow,
yeah, pretty incredible. Yeah, and it still holds up today. It still looks great. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I want to say hi to Family Bricks. Matt has dropped in. He says good day to everybody. And we had a question from Legend Art 117. If any of you got to be a designer on any theme, past, present, dream teams, etc., what would you all pick? I don't know. Monster Fighters, maybe, because I really like that theme. Emily?
I'm thinking elves. That would be kind of fun, you know? Just like all the color and like the crazy pieces, the story. I think that'd be so cool.
Yeah. What about you, Craig?
Well, I'd be torn between Batman and Ninjago, I think.
Yeah.
Danny?
Danny?
I love the Ninjago sets. They're so cool. They're really expensive now.
Yeah. Danny?
I would love to help dictate, like, for the Star Wars design aspect of what's included in the set, because I wouldn't be very good designing the actual set. Like minifigures,
sure
box
the,
design.
Want to make sure it's from the right trilogy as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like the right logos are being used. There we go.
Forrest, you said Ninjago. What about you, Jang?
City, definitely City. Always my first love.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about City actually when we were talking about trains and stuff earlier on. Why do you think they only bring out one train for City? You know, why are they?
Because they literally hate their fans. Clearly.
And what about the doors? When do you think we're going to see doors on them?
I think they need to realize that doors exist first. Also like stairs or elevators.
Yes,
yeah.
Oh my god, I'm sick of buying stairs for the buildings. No, and so some people, to me, it's important. I mean, because in my head, these little guys are they need to get places, and if you don't have stairs, how are you supposed to get to bed?
Yeah, they did an escalator piece, didn't they? Didn't they do a new escalator piece?
Yeah.
Kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like. Who else? BFAB. What would you design?
Dang, you almost forgot about me. I was going to go back to eating. I would go for Duplo. I think my skills do well for like themes like Duplo. You know, I feel like I couldn't design anything else. So, okay, to be fair, jokes aside, minifigures all the way. I'd go for that.
Yeah, minifigures all the way. I mean,
I can draw, but I can't design. So I feel like I could design some nice looking minifigs. So,
that'd be awesome.
There are, I don't know, were those pictures official today of those the next series? No.
We'll just say no.
They're rumored. It's always rumored, Si.
We don't want to get our little land members in trouble. Don't worry, I got your back.
A rumored.
The rumored pictures.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Potential minifigures, yeah.
That was actually the poll today. So if you haven't taken part in the poll, now's your chance. I forgot what the poll question was because I did it really quickly. The poll question is: did you see any Lego leaks today? And we've had 106 votes. 66% of people said no, and 34% said yes. Loads of stuff is leaking. I mean, obviously, we're going to hear about these in the next few weeks. We know there's lots of stuff coming out on the 1st of January, and 2022 looks so bloody exciting for new sets. I'm not sure what has actually been confirmed. I know Batman for us over this side of the water, we haven't gotten the new Batman sets yet. Sure, we haven't, Craig. They're January 1st for us?
January the 1st, yeah.
Wow. That's a bummer.
Big time. I was so jealous watching you build all of those forests the other day. I was like, I want them.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times they like spoil the movie though. So maybe it's better that you don't have them. You don't have to get spoiled.
Oh, spoiler way, I love it.
Yeah.
Except in some cases, it doesn't spoil anything whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't say Razor Fist on it.
I was disappointed in that Morris as well because he's got really colourful fur and ears. Why do him plain?
And he's just like he literally just I didn't know what the hell it was at first, but they could have done so much better. Like even with his wings, if we got some sort of stuff in the wings. And I thought the Eternals was better than Shang-Chi, by the way.
What?
Yep.
I didn't watch Eternals anyway. I just want to be that guy that get really,
Oh my
like, gets really
God.
mad. You know, like, are you kidding me? That was the worst movie ever. You know how people are.
I don't think
I think
you can compare
I think Shang-Chi was more simple to follow, and Eternals is very complex.
them. Yeah.
I blame Danny for me watching Shang-Chi. I was drunk and I was watching her too, and she's like, it was so good, and I'm like, really, Danny? Should I buy a ticket? So my dumb self ended up booking a seat right in front of the screen. So like I could have booked it early, had a really nice seat. That's what I was trying to do. So I literally was so uncomfortable the whole time, but it was still worth it. So
I thought Shang-Chi was beautifully shot, by the way. I thought that the cinematography on that was lovely. Whereas Eternals, it's clearly CGI. There's a big difference. I did like it. It's good film.
I get what you see. Yeah, when I went to a movie or if I'm watching it at home, it's rare that I think about anything other than that's what's going on, except for sometimes continuity. If we're watching TV, when and I might say to Lorraine, "Oh my God, like, that wasn't like that earlier on," she'd be like, "Shut up," because it's so annoying, like when because I worked in TV and I know continuity is important and everything, but if someone leaves, if someone has a bandage on this hand and then the next scene it's on this hand, what the hell? Do you know what I mean? But yeah,
all the time, all the extras that walk by twice,
like the Matrix.
Or the extras that are not supposed to look at the camera and they're kind of like looking at the camera smiling and you're like, why is it what? Johnny G wants to know where's Morris's face. He has no face.
Yeah, he doesn't have a face. But
No face.
that cuddly toy sold out like from the Disney store. You cannot get them for love nor money.
Really?
That's how cute that Morris was, but not the Lego version.
Yeah. Who do you think would win in a fight, him or Grogu?
For cuteness.
No, just as in a punch-up.
There's no contest there. Grogu would beat him.
Grogu
depends whether Morris brings like little eggs with him. He probably distract him, doesn't he?
Probably, yeah. The Lego like Halloween little short with Lego Grogu was like going on the ship, and he was messing up Moff Gideon and some stormtroopers. He was just using the Force like a master. So if he's that version of Grogu, yeah, he'd be way stronger.
Or Smoker Joe says, continuity is why I can't watch Michael Bay movies middle of the day in one shot, then sunset in the middle. Actually,
makes them good.
Can I ask
Danny,
bad. The Eternals, when you watch the Eternals, did you find it was all very looked all very dark? Or was that just my crappy cinema that I went to?
Yeah, it was your crappy cinema.
Yeah, damn it.
It's pretty light in a lot of shots.
Yeah, I don't think they had. I think they let the lens cap was on or something. I don't know.
Yeah. You got to open your eyes when watching movies. You know that, right?
Yeah, well, I didn't fall asleep at this one. Normally I do, but it was really good. I don't know why people are bashing on the Eternals so hard.
Yeah. I don't know what the critics are watching. They're not seeing the same movie that I watched. Yes, it's slow in parts, but it has to be because of the story it's telling. It's got a lot of story to tell in a short space of time.
Yeah.
But I
will say, I think there were far too many famous people in it. Like as I said, I think I said it last Friday on Greg's stream. Angelina Jolie was just Angelina Jolie to me. I couldn't get her as a character. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's some that like Samuel L. Jackson. Whenever I see him, he's just the
Samuel
character.
L. Jackson. He's just the same.
Yeah, it's like that with Ryan Reynolds too.
Yeah. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool all the time.
He's always
every
Deadpool.
single movie.
Yeah.
That's a problem a lot of actors fall into. But I miss the days when actors were like more mysterious, like Jimmy Stewart. Like he didn't have an Instagram. We didn't know. And and Ryan Reynolds and what's his face? Michael not Michael Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson's doing these like commercials for Capital One all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, what are you doing? You're like ruining this whole image you got. And then
I mean, to be fair, he's probably getting paid a lot. You know, I'd sell out. You know, you want me to do a sponsorship or some ad for like a really crappy company?
I get it, but it's like sucks for me. You know, it's like it's great for him, but it sucks for the rest of everyone else. Because
does he really need the money? Come on.
Well, you know, he needs it because he needs to get another, you know, RV. Like he's already got 3, but he needs the 4th one.
For Samuel L. Jackson, for anybody watching this, if you want peak Samuel L. Jackson, try to find, I haven't been able to find it recently, but try to find the outtakes from his radio ad for Pontiac. There's a reel out there. I know it's still available.
Okay.
If anybody really wants to hear some peak next level Samuel L. Jackson, like Samuel L. Jackson cubed radio ad for Pontiac outtakes.
I should do a Lego version of that, like TikTok or something. That'd be awesome. Just like Samuel L. Just like I was thinking about doing that just for like the Ryan Reynolds like Mint Mobile commercials. Just animate them in Lego, just verbatim. It'd be awesome. Post them on TikTok. It's just like, it's just lame, dude. But it's so funny too at the same time. I feel like actors. You know, I can't wait until we can replace them all with CGI.
Wow.
Amazing.
No way.
We don't need them anymore.
Nah.
They're phasing out.
They never get old as well.
Voice actors are where it's at. All my favorite actors are voice actors.
Mm.
Oh, really? Who's your favorite?
Oh, well, there's like, you know, Mark Hamill as the Joker.
Yeah, Mark Hamill's brilliant.
And Kevin Conroy, you know, Batman. Any of those like original animated series, like. But yeah, like any cartoons, like Tara Strong, she's done like so many iconic characters, but like so many characters you wouldn't think are like the same character or the same actor. Voice actors just have so much range. Like I've always had like tons of respect for voice actors and have admired that profession.
I admire some that don't have range too. Like John DiMaggio is always John DiMaggio,
Oh, yeah.
but he's always awesome.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt is always
he played
Chris
the Joker
Pratt.
in one of the animated movies too. He was good. He had like a deep voice Joker. Yeah, he's pretty cool.
We got a question, didn't we, once to the chat? Who was your favorite Batman? And everybody went down the line saying, you know, whether it was going to be Ben Affleck or Christian Bale. And it got to me and I went, Kevin Conroy, and they all went, who?
Yeah, all my favorite actors are like problematic in real life. Like Christian Bale. Like he's awesome because he doesn't tweet or like he's not on social media, you know.
Just gets mad on set.
Yeah, he screams at people on set, and then you're like, "What's going on with this guy?"
He's very talented at what he does. He's willing to put the extra effort into it, where like most actors aren't really willing to do that. I think that's why we can respect people like him, you know. So
yeah, definitely. Like when I watch him act, it's like I'm convinced. Yeah, there's some actors where you're like, wow, like they're.
I mean, he goes all the way. I don't remember the movie's name, but like he lost a bunch of weight and he was like eating gum or something, and like an apple.
Fighter or something like that, was it?
I don't remember the name, but it's like that was crazy. And then a couple months later, he bulked up to do the Dark Knight films, and it's like that's insane. That's dedication.
Yeah, I'm sure his doctor is like freaking out and telling him to calm down. And he won't listen. Yeah, he's like, you kind of have to be insane to undertake that. But like, yeah, it's like shows his commitment to.
Yeah, he becomes his character. So I mean, that's crazy.
It's pretty sweet.
We see Donald Gleason like on a regular basis. He lives near Lorraine's mom and dad, and he played General Hux in Star Wars. And he's jogging every day. He's like a skinny man now, so he must be like slimming down for some sort of new movie. But like it's mad to see General Hux running around the area. It's just brilliant.
I love that guy. Yeah, he's really good too. He was in the Peter Rabbit reboot. He was really good in that. And then he was obviously Hux, and then he was like in this movie called About Time, which is a really good movie.
Yeah, that's a cracking film.
Yeah, I love that movie. Yeah, he's an awesome actor. Yeah. I don't know anything about him. I think that's why I like him too.
He's Irish. Yay!
Yeah.
There's a series he played in. He played a robot. He played an android.
Really?
Was available on Netflix. I think it probably still is. I don't remember
He was in Ex Machina. Yeah.
Oh,
But
right,
that's probably a different movie because he wasn't a robot in that.
Speaking of robots, I'll tell you who's a really good actor. Gemma Chang. I don't know if any of you guys, Craig, you must have seen Humans. That she was in.
Yeah, she's brilliant.
She was brilliant in Humans. Humans, I think Humans was definitely available in America. It's
Yeah.
basically they're Android. Have you seen it, Jang?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love it. It's brilliant, and I'm so pissed off that they ended it because I thought that could have gone on and been like a new Doctor Who or something. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad she scored the big time in.
Well, you
in
could
America.
see why she got that role, didn't she? Obviously, clearly impressed when she did Captain Marvel, wasn't it? 'Cause she was one of the
Yeah,
Force.
what was her name?
beginning.
Minerva. I don't know.
Minerva.
Yeah,
Minerva.
she was
wasn't
she was really good in Eternals. Yeah.
It is 20 past. I think we will start winding it down, guys. We normally go till 10, but we're having so much fun. But I know Lorraine is tired, so we'll let her get some sleep. Emily, do you want to tell everybody what's coming up on your channel for the week?
Oh gosh, yeah. Wednesday stream as usual. I'm not sure what I'll be building yet, but I usually figure that out the day of, so stay tuned. And then probably another weekly vlog coming soon. Tomorrow there'll be a fun video on the AT-AT as long as everything goes according to plan. Yeah.
As long as it doesn't fall off the shelf.
We'll see. Maybe you'll see like a live stream at some point. It's just like, is it gonna fall? Who knows?
That shelf looks like it might be bending just a little bit.
Don't even say that.
Wow, you found me right away.
I'm all nervous.
I wasn't waiting in the back for so long.
Were you waiting there? No, you
No,
weren't.
no. I just literally just jumped on right now. How's it going, everybody?
Hey.
Hey, Shy, this is Forrest, FORRESTFIRE 101. I don't know if you've met before.
Never met. Big fan. So.
Wow,
You
Shy,
guys
you're
be
sucking
welcome.
up too?
I'll suck up to everybody. I don't care.
You are a Marine. You don't suck up to anyone. Come on.
And you know everybody else, so don't need to introduce you, which is good. And we're just going to wind down, but we'll take our time winding down and get our money's worth out of Shy.
Okay, it's all good. Sorry, I was late.
We were Emily was telling us what's going on her channel. I was looking at Shy. So had you finished? Because I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, I think that was it. Vlogs, live streams, some AT-AT stuff. The use.
My bad, Emily.
Thanks,
Sorry.
No,
Oh,
you're
you're
fine. Fine. Craig, what's coming up on your channel?
Well, because Greg's not here, I'm gonna have to big up London Calling number 94, baby. So that's tomorrow night. I'll be on that with my good friend Sai and Greg and various other guests. So that should be a lot of fun. And still working on our other project. It's had a little hitch this week, but that will be coming soon. So, and I'll keep bigging it up, but it is getting more content and it is getting even more funny, especially when Sai keeps giving you dance moves to use in music videos. So this is going to be good. But other than that, I don't think I've got any planned streams, but I might jump on Twitch at the weekend because I haven't for a while, just to keep my hand in. That's
I'll be
it
there
for
watching.
me.
That's awesome. Down to yourself, Jang. What's coming up on yours?
I continue to work on this thing over on Twitch. I don't have a set schedule for streaming. I'm not sure if I ever particularly will, but I've been pretty regular about it on the Twitch side. And as far as the actual set builds, well, I need to review all of the Titanics over the coming week or so. But as far as new set builds, all that I have left is the Technic version of the Pattinson Batmobile. So that'll be coming up probably within the next week also.
That sounds good. Legendary 117 must be Irish because he's talking about, or they're talking about Fair City, which is an Irish kind of soap opera. So yeah, I think I know who you might be. Over to Danny. What have you got coming up on yours?
Yeah, so I actually secured a Lego Titanic as well. So I am very excited. First of all, the story behind that was that one of the T-Falls that joins a lot of my streams, he was on vacation in Florida with his family and they were at the Disney Springs store and managed to get one. So it arrived yesterday from Florida and we're going to stream it together with my nephew. So 3 of us, 1 box for each of us, and we're going to build it live stream in 8 hours. So it's all like, can we build this entire thing in 8 hours? I will see what happens because you know how I am when it comes to building and streaming. That's a stream that we have planned, and I'm going to finish up my Marvel Eternals review video.
That sounds good. I mean, I'd love to get one of those Titanics. They're so cool. Like, I think it was Tiago I saw. Yeah, it was, and he just pulled it apart, and I was like, oh my god! Like, the inside, insane.
Tiago. Sorry.
What? Hey,
Your
you speak
pronunciation.
character.
You know what? You win, Si. I don't even.
Damn, has BFAB been mean all day?
What?
No,
I have kidney stones. Okay.
He's on medication. He's on medication.
No, you know the funny. Okay, I was on medication. I actually haven't taken any of my pills yet.
Okay, swiftly moving on. You crazy boy. Forrest, what's coming up on yours? I know that you're busy, but do you have stuff coming out on a regular basis? Live streams, anything like that?
Yeah, I basically try to keep the live streams going, and I'm gonna be posting more on TikTok, just like little short videos as I work on these 2 epic mega projects. I'm working on my Lego Kylo and versus Rey lightsaber battle. That's gonna be like 7 minutes long. Got like 2.5 minutes of that done, and then I'm about to start production on my Lego Batman versus the Red Hood video. That video will end up probably being 10 minutes long. It's more of a narrative, situational comedy video. But yeah, I'm going to stream the building of those sets, and I'm also going to stream the animation of the scenes. So if you like streams, I'm going to be streaming a lot. You'll probably get sick of me, but eventually the videos will come out probably in a year or 2 from now. So yeah.
I mean, it's streaming for people like yourself and Jang and stuff are great because like the super chats and everything do help your channel, and I mean,
yeah, definitely.
The viewers are very important because they support the people they like, and it's especially in your case, you need to buy different things, and it's really great to have such a good community who are there for you guys. It's brilliant. Great to see.
Yeah, it keeps me like motivated too. It keeps me like active. If I'm streaming, I have to be working. Whereas if I'm not streaming, I might, go and watch a show or do something not as productive. So it's cool that it keeps me accountable.
Exactly. We will go over to BFAB. BFAB, have you got anything coming up? I know that you're working hard. And have you any videos planned?
Okay, sorry, I was struggling to unmute myself. So I have a couple videos in the works, or more like kind of ideas. The first one is the top 10 ugliest Lego YouTubers. That video will be coming out very soon. Yeah, I know. A lot of people
on that
wanted me
list,
to make
right?
that. I remember when I made that joke, everyone's like, when I told them I was joking, they're like, what? You're not actually making that video? And I'm like, yo, I can't make a top 10 and be the top 1,000, Our community's clapped. But to be, sorry, I'm working on like an Angry Birds Lego like documentary video. I also want to kind of do like a YouTube like highlight video. So those are kind of the 2 videos that I'm throwing around. If I go to work tomorrow, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get any of those done anytime soon. But we have kidney stones. I'll probably call in a week. Who knows?
Yep.
They'll probably fire you.
Yeah, they probably will. I get fired way too often. So.
Are you past probation yet?
I'm not, but they love me there. So.
I think you got a pay rise. Didn't you get a pay rise?
They did. Yeah, after 3 weeks, getting a pay raise was pretty nice. So.
You're like, this guy's a liability. He's got too many kidney stones. Get him out of here.
I literally walked up to my manager today and I'm like, hey, just so you know, I know I've only been here for this amount of time. I have kidney stones. I'm peeing blood. Is there a way I can leave? And he's like, sure. He's like, why did you stay? I'm like, because I'm new. He's like, no, go. I'm like, okay, thank you. Okay, I'm leaving. Bye.
Nice. I hope you feel better soon.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm going to die soon.
We all do.
Yeah.
Shy, we won't go into what's coming up. We're going to find out what you've been doing all week. We get a little bit of what you've been up to. I don't know why I'm going my mouth went dry. So what have you been up to during the week, Shy? I know that you had a really good you had some kind of good meetings that were interesting with the whole memorial thing.
Are you talking about the Veterans Day stream?
Yes, I'm Irish, so I can't remember the name.
Yeah, I thought it'd be fun to kind of bring out like Lego fans who are also veterans and just put them in one spot. Just because when you put, it doesn't matter if we ever served together or not, but like veterans, when you put us together, we can talk about anything, and the conversation really goes up and down like within a second. And I thought it would be appropriate to do it on Veterans Day to pull like different people that I know are comfortable on a camera and just let them talk. And yeah, it did that. I mean, there was a lot of sadness, and there's a lot of laughing and making fun of, and there was also like a war crime that was actually said on screen. So I was just like, oh, we went there. But it was fun. I loved it. I don't know if I'm gonna do it often, because I want to cherish those moments. I don't want to make it like a, you know, like a weekly thing or a monthly thing. I mean, I hardly stream anyways. I don't have time. But it was fun.
That's good. That's good. And what have you got coming up during the week then?
I need to clean this office. My kids destroyed the city behind me, and then all the Lego that's like reachable has been pretty much messed with. Apocalypseburg's in pieces. Yeah, the Ninjago district is all jacked up. I need to like really clean up in here. I let them play. Like I don't let them play. My wife lets them in here while I'm at work sometimes, and then they just go to town. And then I just let them go, and then they make some weird things. Can't really say no to that. So yeah. I really need to buckle down and just put everything back in order. My Black Falcon army is all destroyed.
Oh no,
they're everywhere. So I have to like put them back in their units and put it back in a Ziploc bag, because I am going to display them at Bricks LA. Might as well. I paid a lot of money for that, so might as well show them off.
Exactly. Danny, I know that you showed like some destroyed sets and stuff. Was that actually staged, or did your little nephew wreck the place?
I wish it were staged. No, so I do have a few smaller speeders and stuff on the bench, because as I said, I'm in the process of actually moving out some of the non-Star Wars sets and just having those. So they're just over there. So my nephews were all over during the weekend. And so I definitely need to still find some pieces. And I at least told them, don't leave the Lego room so that I have a chance of finding them. But there were definitely some wings pulled off, and I don't know how they do this, but like they take off a few parts and then put them back in like a weird order. So I have no idea how it's actually supposed to go until I look at the instructions.
That's a nightmare. Like
That's like my every day.
Forrest, when you're you just have one child, is it?
Yeah, Luna.
So when she gets older, are you going to let her play, or are you going to do what most of us do and kind of keep them away from daddy's stuff?
Well, you know, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll find out. Yeah, I don't really have like a plan necessarily. If she shows interest in the Lego, then I feel like I won't be able to tell her no. You know, I'm gonna be like one of those parents who just like lets her do whatever she wants. I don't want to ever tell her to do anything. So, but she might not be into it at all. She might have her own thing going on. Who knows? But she likes Duplo right now, so she's already on the right track.
That's the start, exactly. I was quite lucky. My kids never went and played with any of my stuff. They had their own Lego and stuff, but they just never, I don't know, maybe it wasn't interesting enough, just buildings or whatever. But yeah,
Right.
I mean, they both liked it. Katie was, see, we never like this, going back to I know I'm supposed to be winding down, we'll get back to it in a minute. Going back to BFAB's video, we never told our children this is the girls section or this is the boys section when Nullig came along. But the girls instantly went to Friends. They wanted the pink things. They went there.
Yeah.
Blue Lego and Lego City was never there.
Friends is really popular. I mean, I'm not a fan of it, but yeah, it seems like girls do like it a lot. So I don't know. They know what they're doing.
I mean, it's crazy. Think about it. The biggest or one of the biggest Lego YouTubers is LEV Toys, I believe her name is. Yeah. And she focuses on like Friends and Disney Princess sets. So it's like you have to take that into consideration, you know?
I just wish like all those Disney princesses were actually done in real minifig form.
I agree, 100%.
It kind of sucks when they're in the Friends bodies. It just looks like Barbies or something. But kids like them.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Danny?
I was just saying that I found that channel recently, and I was like, "Oh my god, why am I watching this still?" She's like really captivating.
Is she the lady that streams with Adore Build sometimes?
No, I think it's another. I think it's Brick Motion who streams with her.
Yeah, Brick Motion's. Yeah, that's right. BFAB's right.
Yeah, LEV I don't think talks to like the streaming community.
Right. Okay. Get you. Yeah. So I just want to say hi to Barry, who's dropped in. He says, "Watch you guys and girls. Saws Omega late was having a granddad nap. I think that's just called sleeping at this time of the night, really. But good to see you, dude. Says, watch you, fella, and all good, Craig. Hope you're well. Brickstage Pass. That's awesome. So basically, coming up from me, I am going to continue on messing around with different things like shorts, stories, all the same things that everyone else is doing. Tomorrow will be on. Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
Tomorrow
he's
will
messing in his shorts. You heard it here.
messing around in my shorts. That's a stream you don't want to miss. And yes, it is. It's the content you have subscribed to. Anyway, as I was saying, Someone fill me in. What? Yeah. So tomorrow will be Greg's stream, 7:30 UK time. I think it's 2:30 in the Eastern Standard Time. And then we will be back here on Wednesday for the backlog, which will be on my channel. And then Thursday, I'm not sure if the person who want to come on can make it on Thursday, but hopefully they will, because I know that they're involved in a 24-hour live stream. On the weekend, actually, Brick Hive has a 24-hour live stream. I'll be taking part in that. And then the following weekend at Beyond the Bricks live stream, I'll be on that as well. So check us out there on various different places. And I think that is it. Thank you, everybody who was watching. I won't be able to go through the whole list, but I'll pick out some people. Lorraine, obviously, because she'll kick my ass if I don't say hello. Thanks for watching, Lorraine. Matt from Family Bricks, Stud Sidious, Aces was here. I remember Tommy Dempsey, T-Mog, Bricks with Justin, Mr. Saurus, of course, he's a very special person as well. I love him so much. We also had Nullig was here. We had Skellig. We had Johnny G, Minifig Who, Gary, Big Nate, and I know I always disappoint people when I don't get to say hello to or goodbye to absolutely everybody, but that's just the way it is. Cajun Yeti, I'll just pop you in there as well. So thank you, everybody, for watching. I want to say thank you to Emily for being here. It was great to have you. Thank you, Craig.
You're welcome.
No problem. God. Thanks, Danny.
Of course.
Okay, everyone's just doing a bow. That's okay. Thanks, Forrest.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Namaste. Thanks, Jang.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, BFAB.
Wait, I'm not getting paid for this?
No.
Dang it.
I'll send you some sort of pizzas or something. And
Yeah,
see you later.
10 mil.
Good to see you. I'm glad we got to get you on, dude. Thanks, everybody. See you later, and talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Love you.